And we are live. What's going on, guys? I am H3 the Game, and we are back with another streaming podcast today. And we got the usual crew plus one more kind of returning guest, but the Immortal Afro, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having
Good,
me.
good, man. Cross, the legend, what's going on?
I'm the legend. Wow.
The legend.
Dude,
Didn't you just win like a virtual fighter tournament? Like
That was like a couple weeks ago.
legend, legendary.
Yeah, I lost one too.
It don't matter. You got your win, and everybody hating. That's all that
That's
matters.
so true. They were hella hating,
Yeah, that's
dude. Oh my
good, man.
god, I forgot about that. That was sick.
Yeah, I love it.
That was
When
sick.
you
I
getting hate
forgot.
on,
Damn, I
when you
completely
get
forgot about that.
yeah, when you're getting hate on, that means you're doing something good. See,
Yeah, dang.
yeah, we got Kuroki back with us again. What's going on,
what's
man?
cracking, y'all? How's it going, chat?
Hey, we got a lot to talk about today, but you know how I like to start things off. What is everybody playing?
Playing Marvel Rivals.
Oh snap!
Trying to enjoy, learning some new tank, playing a whole lot of a thing. He's a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
I jumped in there. I'm a Marvel Rivals player too.
Oh
Dying.
yeah, we all Marvel Rivals players at
Yeah,
this
I
point.
died real good in Marvel Rivals.
Nobody down like me. Rag all over.
Hey, when we were playing, I was playing with Josh, and I was hiding behind him, hitting everything else. Like protect me, carry me. I am the number one carried player in Marvel Rivals. So, what about you, Cross? What are you playing?
Um, damn, am I playing anything? I mean, kind of stopped playing Tomb Raider for a minute, so I wasn't
Mhm.
playing that. I guess I was playing VF, but fighting games don't count. Let's
It
see. Well,
counts.
not really. I mean, fighting games are forever games.
It's
Like,
true.
like you play them forever. If they're good, and if you're
Yeah.
not like a masochist or a bitch, I guess, or a shield.
A psycho.
Um, yeah, something like that. But um, I did play DOA Prism. I played a bit of that.
What the hell is that?
Uh,
DOA Prism.
a
Prism.
Venus
I've
Vacation
never.
Prism.
Oh, okay.
It's like a,
Oh,
it's like
Oh
a
yeah, we know which one that is.
yeah, it's like a dating sim, and I was playing that, and it was pretty funny.
yeah.
Actually, I was having a lot of fun playing that
What do
because
what do the new kids say nowadays? Gooner. Is
yes.
that one of those Gooner games?
For
It's
definitely for
definitely a Gooner
sure. It's
game.
like it's like because that game is so locked away. You can't even get a VPN to try and get the game. It's so locked away that they're so certain that they could say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna market this like this is marketed to Asia." That they're just doing whatever the fuck they want in that game. That like
Really?
it's yeah, it's like fucking crazy. So like the idea of the game is like, hey, like Zach hired you. You got to get these girls on this fucking island. And one of the girls is already on the island and she's like here to help you. But she's like damn near, like every girl is a fucking like archetype. And so Masaki is like your like the little sister archetype, but she's helping you. But so it's like, hey, there's a girl over there. You should go and try and talk to him. And it's like you can actually do and say things that will piss them off and they'll be mad at you, or you can say things that they like. And so like one example was like, I'm talking to Honoka, and Honoka, like, she texts you and she's like, I'm bored, I want to talk. You're like, all right, what do you want to talk about? I don't know. You're like, okay.
It's
And what,
not
what are you
fully
gonna
thought out.
do? Yeah, what are you gonna do later on today?
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna go do something with Misaki. And it's like, oh, you're gonna go take a bath? She's so stupid that she doesn't see that you're being a pervert. So she's like, yeah, I'm gonna go take a bath with Misaki. It's gonna be great. See you later. Bye. And so then Misaki texts you and she's like, hey, yeah, I gotta head out for a minute. Me and Hanukkah about to go somewhere. You're like, you go into a bath. She's like, you're a fucking pervert. Don't ever talk to me like that ever again. And I saw what you said to Hanukkah. Don't talk to her like that. I was like,
Damn.
oh shit.
Okay, they really thought that shit out there.
Yeah, they got the choices down locked.
Yes,
Damn, bro, you really gotta think about what you gonna say now.
yes. And so like what you have to do is convince people that like you're supposed to be taking all these pictures and stuff and convincing people that your island is like the shit.
Yeah.
And so the more you get a higher rating with the girls, you unlock different
Mm.
swimsuits and you unlock
Titty
different
pictures.
things and games and stuff that you can do with them. And it's like it's fucking fun. It's like holy shit. You guys still know how you guys got balls and you know how to make a fucking fun game when the shit is only locked in fucking the Asia region. But as soon as that shit, you know,
You gotta
uh
censor it for the West.
well, for the fucking world, for the West, yeah, because and that's the problem. That's the big issue with Koei Tecmo. It's like they essentially don't can't make any games anymore because essentially everything they have to do has to be for a modern audience. So the only time they really get to make something like unrestricted is well when they can confidently know and say, "Hey, this is not for the world." And the thing is that you could tell that they want it because it's fully translated in English. So it's like it's 100% translated. So you could
Yeah.
tell like they're like, hey, if you can find a way, like go ahead. But you know, technically, we're not selling it to you. It's
Mhm.
like it's just it's such a that's the state of the world.
It's yeah, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
that definitely seems like a cool game.
But yeah, that's the
Yeah.
last thing that I touched. Like,
Yeah.
okay, like yeah, I turned it on a bit, but it did make my computer crash.
Oh no.
Yeah, my computer crashed like right when I went to save it. But
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I got a question. What's the difference between regular Venus Vacation and Prism?
so Venus Vacation, that's a gotcha game. The regular Venus Vacation is just a gotcha game where
Mhm.
you like run the gotcha system, and then the more points you get, you can spend those points to roll and get swimsuits. It's just a gotcha game.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Prism is a video game. It's like it has a beginning and end. It is a dating sim. It's like that's the best way I can put it. It's like
Oh.
imagine if it was like a visual novel, but you get to make choices and you can stop time in that game and take pictures. And you
Oh,
have
okay, that's cool.
missions. And the missions are like take pictures of Misaki while she's smiling. Take pictures of Hanukkah when she's doing this. It's like really
Those
cool.
weeaboos.
Yeah, I'm over here like,
Oh.
tell me more about this Gooner game. Then I
That
might
shit's
Yeah, yeah.
might
This is
have to pick
this
up
Goonie shit you
for
got going
research
on here, man.
purposes.
yeah, that game's fucking tight, dude. Like, I'm gonna be honest. It's like, and it looks good. It
Is it
looks really good.
I'm gonna be honest,
uh
okay? I kind of beat my dick a couple times.
No,
That's
no,
besides the point.
okay.
Like,
Well, that's a good segue. What games are you playing, Kuroki? Yeah, hopefully it ain't
uh,
no Gooner games.
no Goonie. Well, right now I'm playing Metal Gear Solid collection. I'm kind of just going through my memory lane of my childhood.
Yeah,
Love the Metal Gear series. It's just goofy, especially when it starts getting into the later games.
yeah,
Um, other than that, a little bit of Borderlands because I am trying to get a little hype for the new game coming up.
yeah. Every time I think about Borderlands, man, I think when I started with Josh. Started with Josh, and then he left me, got too powerful, and then I didn't want to play no more. I'm like, man, I can't compete with nothing you guys are doing.
Yeah,
Sucks.
man.
well man, I'll get back on and play. You just gotta keep up. I'll start
Yeah.
over.
You gotta keep up.
But me still playing Grand Blue. That game is still to me really good. But when I was talking to Josh off stream about how I started playing rank, in casual matches, and I messed around and found out that this game is not as honest as I thought it was. It's not as honest as I thought it was. These characters are really, really cheap. Some of them can get you when you can't get them. And it's still fun trying to figure out the matchups. I don't know the matchups. I know that's the issue. But yeah, I ran into some real monsters in that Grand Blue. And it kind of awakened what I need to do to play a little bit better. So
Siegfried.
I ran into Siegfried and learned a couple of things. I couldn't get him, but he could get me. I ran into Pagliastro, where one of the players was doing like trap setups and things like that, and he'll combo you, and then you'll bounce into one trap, he'll get you, then you bounce over his head and hit another trap, and like, man, I was doing some wild stuff that I didn't think Grand Blue had, but
I might have to download that demo for Ryzen so I can try it out.
yeah, man, try it out because we've been playing it kind of tough, but yeah.
Yeah, Cross, is this like on Steam? Because it says an upgrade pack, but it don't look like
Nah, you. I'll talk to you later about it. You can't get.
By the
it.
way,
You can't get
is
it.
that crossplay?
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Is that
Grand
like
Blue?
crossplay? Yeah.
I don't think it is. I don't think it's crossplay.
Yeah.
But let's get into these topics. We'll get into the biggest one first, which is, of course, Tekken 8. And we talk about Tekken 8 a lot on this podcast, but it's gotten to a point where people think Tekken 8 is so bad that it's time to boycott. Now, I thought this was just like a rumor or a joke, but it's real.
Yeah.
It is real. And have any of you guys seen this yet?
No, but it's funny.
I heard about
Let's
it.
say
I like the
Tekken
image,
together.
dude. They all, white, when you put someone in grayscale and then darken it, it always makes them look so evil. No matter
Yeah.
It looks such
And
like
then-
a really sad photo
Oh,
too.
look at that
Yeah.
grin Michael
And then,
Murray is doing.
yeah. And then
Dude, it's like-
Harada got the shades on.
Yeah.
Like
The
a
Yeah,
villains
They
behind
look
the
like
downfall of Tekken.
villains,
They
dude.
should have put the picture where he says don't ask me for shit.
Yep,
It would have
exactly.
been even
That
better.
would have been perfect.
Yeah, dude.
But
Yeah, no, that's funny.
yeah, have you guys seen this website or?
No, I don't
looked at it?
care.
No,
Yeah.
I like Cross. I also think it's funny. That's pretty. This seems a little excessive, but I mean, if it wasn't, then it would be funny. So
Yeah,
I
so
mean-
I'm going to read a little bit of it and kind of see what you guys think about it. But let's save Tekken 8 together. You know
Amen,
what?
brother.
I'm a so after I read this and we kind of give our thoughts on the boycott, I want to ask this question: is Tekken 8 worth saving? Is Tekken 8 worth saving? And well, that'll be the second question after
Well,
the
short
words
story
are
long. No.
In the words of Project Pat, dude, she don't want to be saved.
Yeah, we're over here singing it.
So
Oh,
it
save
says,
her, dude.
why the boycott? It's hard to speak for all, but based on many posts we have seen online, I think it's safe to say that Tekken 8 has strayed far from the legacy that made Tekken great. I agree with that. What about you guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Okay. To summarize the major issues in one paragraph, this game now heavily revolves around 50-50 guesses, making each match feel like a coin flip rather than a test of player skill. Characters have lost their individuality. The balancing is horrible and everyone feels overpowered due to a lack of counterplay. Communication from the developers has been disappointing. Promises about prioritizing defense were broken with a patch that worsened the experience for many players. Since the game's release, not much has changed apart from some minor adjustments. Legacy players struggle as the game pushes for mindless aggression. At this point, it's uncertain how much even new players like these changes. Thanks to the power of social media, it's not hard to see that Tekken fans really want Tekken directors blankly choose to ignore our thoughts. This was the final straw that resulted in this bulk boycotting movement. Okay. Yeah. So I'm trying to think. It's trying to see if I want to read the rest of this.
I'll read it. Can I read it? I would.
Oh man! All right.
And the game's not great. The end.
Yeah, like what the fuck? We already know what the fuck they're saying, but all right, go ahead.
Okay.
If you're part of the Tekken community, you're likely already aware of these issues. So what
Why
can we
you
do?
reading it like an infomercial?
Hey, go. Hold on.
Oh, no,
We need to take action.
We
You
need to
can't
take
keep
this
playing a
serious.
game that frustrates you every session and expect things to change. By continuing to play, it's time to take a stand. If you want to play Tekken, Tekken 7 is still an option. And it's actually gaining popularity thanks to the disastrous updates to Tekken 8. Or maybe you want to take a break from Tekken. If you stream Tekken, stop and switch to something else. If you're a viewer, stop watching Tekken 8 content altogether.
Oh, God damn.
Don't watch official tournaments. Don't post about it. Don't talk about it. Just boycott it. The extent of your involvement is up to you. But remember this. The more action you take, the greater the impact. Together, we have the power to fix this game. Let's stay united and stop engaging until they make the necessary changes.
You know
Join
what?
the boycott today.
Together, we will stop the income of the flood.
You know, I think so. I'm torn on this. Like,
we should have played the Avengers music,
I
dude.
know,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, we needed to.
Oh, shit.
So it says that they have active boycotters 6,027.
That's like
And-
0.01%.
Yeah, for real.
That's crazy.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So
Look at all those people with all those years of experience.
That's
This
that
boy
point.
got 5 to 10 years.
I started playing Tekken at Tekken 1, dude. I have 1 billion years of experience, bro.
1 billion
Like
years.
Tekken since I was born.
Can't beat my man's, man.
I don't
You know
understand
what
this. Why does it say 5 to 10 years? Why can't it just say it's 10 years?
Well,
That confused the shit
Herbert,
out of me.
you know, he's not sure.
Yeah, on again, off again. Maybe he took a break.
you
Come
know.
on, man.
It's an estimate, dude.
This here says like 15 to 20 years.
15 to 20, somewhere around
Yeah, give or
there.
take, more or less. Come on.
You know, I like how they got over here like intermediate, experience, casual, professional.
20 plus years.
If someone
beginner.
says they're professional and you don't know their name, they're not professional.
You don't know who Bot You is? You don't know who that is?
I don't know. It could be AR-15. You know.
Or this guy here, you don't know Mark Dagician?
What's the
Shit,
middle?
you can't even pronounce the middle that last name. Shit.
What's the middle column? Like how much they played recently? 2 weeks, 6 days, and 15 hours.
Let's see.
What is that?
Not playing.
Not playing.
Oh my goodness!
I know it's so fucking gay, right? Holy shit! This is like this so.
Okay.
You know what this you know why it's
Shit is
cringe,
cringy at this
Josh?
point.
You know why it's cringe? Because we used to be like this. This is why we're cringing, because we used to be like this 10 years ago.
I
Like,
remember.
so we just
Same
boycott.
Tekken.
Oh, we'll
Remember
change
the
things.
Angry Joe shit? Because that was like around the
Yes.
same time. We were like, we need
Oh.
to get up to these guys and vote with your wallets.
We need
If
to
they don't have
boycott
the
and
money-
stand together. Let's
We-
arm and link together. It's like
Hold hands.
Oh man, yeah, we about to start marching like we back in We back in the day,
I
yeah.
don't care that they got those fire hoses
So-
march down.
They gonna fucking hold us down for Tekken, bro. That's crazy.
Cringe, dude.
So, all right. So I want to ask a question, and I'll answer first. So for Tekken 8, is a boycott really necessary for Tekken 8? And like I said, I'll go first. So I'm kind of torn where this, I'm not gonna lie, I felt hope in reading this. I like the way this is written.
You heard the Avengers music. You heard the
I heard
Avengers
it.
music. I guess
But-
everybody has to go through it at some point.
Yeah,
Everybody has to have their phase. Go
Because, bro,
ahead.
because
I can't blame you.
it completely outlines, how people are feeling. It's
That's
like
true.
it's
It
the
does
truth.
do that.
It's the
You're
truth.
right. It is the truth.
But at the same time, it feels so corny and lame at the same time.
Well, it
You
is
don't,
corny, but
you don't say.
It feels whack. But at the same time, somebody's trying to do something.
trying to do what, Herbert? See, this is where we have to get down to brass tacks
Mhm.
and reality, not feelings, not what we think. What does a boycott? What can a boycott actually do?
So
It's when a
to-
boy
they
knows
are-
how to make the cut.
Okay, like think about it like
they
this.
are raising attention to the things that are wrong in this game.
Like,
Okay.
And the more people who how can I say who feed the fire with the things that are wrong in this game, the more the developers are going to think that, okay, this is okay. Like, for instance, in the first season, I do have an issue with this. It's one of my issues with the first season. A lot of the things that were wrong in season 2 were wrong in season 1. So if you're upset now about this, you should have been upset in season 1, because they just gave people more of the same thing.
Okay,
I
hold on.
felt like
So-
this should have been done day 1. We should have been boycotting day 1 and Outrage and all of this stuff day 1.
Okay, I want to ask you then. I want to summarize what you just said to make sure that I understand what you're saying correctly. I think I do, but I just want to summarize to make sure you're saying that a boycott would be helpful because essentially they're going to raise awareness to the developers that the people playing the game don't like where this is going, the current direction of Tekken, and that they'll change their ways once they become aware.
I think it's to everybody. It's like it's not only boycotting the product, but it's raising attention for everybody to kind of know what's wrong with Tekken.
Okay, so let me adjust it then. It's not just to the developers, it's to the players as well, the people playing the game.
Yeah.
Okay, alrighty. So this is kind of like the problem I have with like the whole like boycott thing.
Yeah.
Is that the awareness is already there.
Mhm.
Once you get to a point to where you have shit like this, you have you have reached mostly like maximum saturation, where you have gotten the majority of people that you are going to get. It doesn't seem like that, but you have. And if they were going to change, season 2 would have been when they would have indicated that they would have done something different. Like, because you can't dispute that the developers are already aware.
Yeah.
That people don't like this. They've already came out themselves and said that. And so if they made themselves aware, but then they did the opposite of that, that shows that awareness does not need to be made on the behalf of the developers. Now, you may say, well, okay, but if enough people were to boycott their game, they'll change their intentions, because ultimately their intent is that they want the most amount of people to play the game. So if we get the most amount of people on our side and they stop playing the game, then they will change their ways. This is where you have to get into reality.
Yeah.
Are the majority of people the people who will follow a boycott for these reasons here, or are the majority of the people casual players?
The majority are definitely casual.
Okay, this is the thing. when I talk about maximum saturation, you can get the majority of the competitive base to agree to this. Let's say you get to 99%, you will still be at a tiny fraction of the people that they care about. And
Um,
you will not be really affecting their intentions at all, because in order to affect someone's intentions when they have ill intent for you, like let's say like essentially they want what's opposite of what you want, you have to affect the casuals. You have to affect something way, way, way bigger than you. And boycotts not going, in my opinion, based on what I've seen in the past with other stuff, a boycott's not going to do it, because what a casual cares about and what a competitive player cares about are two completely different things. They're not even remotely the same.
yeah. So, um, um, I slightly disagree because I just had this revelation like today, actually. Especially when it comes to the casual audience, right? So, um, you have your veteran players, and then you have your casual players, right?
Okay.
So, um, the casual players have been playing. A lot of them have been playing just as long as the veteran players. For instance, if you look at this list, I know it's a bullshit list. For instance, look at this casual guy here. He been playing for 10 fucking years. he been
Five
playing
to
for
10
he been
years.
5 to 10 years. So like
I mean, but
these casuals have been playing Tekken for a long ass time. And even though they're not on the level of like, the more experienced or intermediate players, they know what the game is. They know what the game is. They've been playing for a long time, and they can see the shift and what the hell is happening. Even they notice that, okay, this ain't the Tekken that I've been playing for the last couple of years, whatever this guy been playing 10 years or whatever.
Herbert, okay,
You
can I
know, and it's
hold
and
on.
it's and it's, and it's
Wait a
like
minute.
I think that now I've seen from what I've seen, it feels like the people, the veteran players and the casual players are now on the same page, is what it seems like to me. To
Okay,
where they both can see that this game is not um, what it used to be.
okay, hold on. Let me address what you're saying. First, there are three things that I have to get to when you're talking about it. I'll get to the years part first, because that's the easiest.
Yeah.
When was the last game that came out, last Tekken game that came out in the last 5 to 10 years?
It was Tekken 7.
Right, so they only played one Tekken game prior to this.
Wrong. It was Tekken Revolution.
Oh shit, my bad. Okay, so that's one thing. And they're casual, so the amount of time that they probably put into Tekken 7 isn't very high. Two, the second thing is that yes, a casual player may notice the same things that a competitive player notices, but that's irregardless of what I'm saying. I can notice that, let's say, Strive doesn't have is a completely different. Casuals notice that Strive is a completely different game than the prior games. They don't care. It's about where their priorities are, not whether or not necessarily they notice it or not. Casuals play Strive, and they're like, yeah, it's a completely different game. I like this fucking game. But the competitive, like the old school, like Guilty Gear players, they're like, I hate this fucking game. You know,
Yeah,
there's
it's
a disconnect
polarizing.
because their priorities are different. And thirdly, we have to describe when we say casual, I think that we're actually talking about two different things. So I need to define and specify what I mean by casual player. When I say casual player, I do not mean in terms of skill level casual, because there is that casual player where someone who just got into, like, you are a casual Grand Blue player right now. Like you're not like super good at the game. You just started, you know what I mean? You've only been playing it under a year, and but you're interested in the mechanic. Like, you are essentially a competitive, like,
Are you
you're a
meaning
premature.
more?
Hold on, I can
Yeah, my
explain.
bad.
you're a premature competitive player. You're just not there yet, you know. But where your interests lie is in the competitive aspect of the game. What
Mm.
I am talking about when I say casual is not that. I am talking about someone who is, they don't give a damn about the competitive aspect of the game necessarily. They are there because Asuka's titties are big. They're there because when Kazuya does his super, he says boom and lightning and cool shit happens. You know, they're there because the story mode is cool. Like that's their primary reason. Like I understand that people are like not 100% in one camp or the other, but people are primarily in one of the camps, one or the other. You know what I mean? And when I say casual, I don't mean someone who like these people on this list. When they say they're casual, they're talking about like, hey, on my skill level. That's why it's under skill level. You know, like they are their skill level. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the majority of people who purchase this game, they're casual because they're not here to get good at the game. They're here because the game looks cool. They're here because game's fun, and that's it.
Yeah. And
They
Like
see,
play it every
so,
now and
yeah.
then.
I get that, but what I'm saying, there are casual players who've been playing longer than Tekken 8 and Tekken 7. There are people
Okay,
who jump in and they've been playing, they've been along, riding along Tekken's legacy for a long time.
that's true. Right.
So they understand the legacy of what Tekken is. That's,
Yeah,
that's
but
that's my only point.
hold
It's
on,
like,
but that's not
they it's
necessarily
like
true.
they play the game and they know how the game plays and they like the way it plays.
Hold on,
You
Harvard.
know,
That's not necessarily true. Like, if we're talking about the same type of casual player, where like the one who is
Look,
like, that's why I wanted to define what I meant by
mhm.
casual. Are you saying, or are you talking about the casual player who, they're interested in the mechanics of Tekken, but they just never put the time in to get really good at it. But they're just at a casual level at the game, but they care about the game mechanically. Or are you talking about what I'm saying, casual? Because those are two completely different things.
I'm
One
talking
is
about,
still in the competitive camp.
Yeah,
yeah.
I see what he's saying.
And I'll
You
say
got the
that one more
ones
time
that
so I
just play
can
the game because
understand.
it's
Okay.
just an aesthetic thing, and then the other ones are
Okay.
for the
Let
competitive
me try
side
to
of
put
things.
it into a different way. Okay. Well, I already described it in a different way. You play Grand Blue, right? Like you just got into Grand Blue,
Yeah,
and you are like, if you had to rate yourself on this list here, professional, intermediate, high level, you would put casual, right?
yeah,
Because you are just now getting into this game. You are a casual level player. You've been playing it for under a year, let's say, and but where your primary interest, this is the focus of my argument of what I'm trying to say. Your primary interest in playing Grand Blue is like the game, like the mechanics, like you like that, and that is like um where you're basing like the value, a lot of the value, not 100% of course, but like most of the value of the game, because that's how we are. We're competitive players. But what I am talking about when I say casual is not that. I am talking about someone who is not even thinking about that. They don't care about where they are on a skill level, whatever. They're not even trying to get good. They're not even thinking about that. They are simply buying the game because it may look cool, all that type of stuff. That's where their primary focus is. They're like Big Mike.
How
Like,
you feel about
but
Marvel Rivals?
see, my
Yeah, there
thing,
you go.
is like the people I'm talking about that's casual already know that the game is cool. They've been
yes,
playing
I know.
since Tekken 2
Yes.
and Tekken 3. Like these, you don't have to tell them that it's cool. They playing it because they like Tekken. They like the
Yes.
legacy of Tekken.
Agreed. So, okay,
It's like
exactly.
they don't have to. You don't have to tell them that it's cool. They already know.
Right.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. That's
Yes.
we're talking about two different types of
Exactly.
casual
Okay. So
people.
that's what I wanted to make sure
Yeah,
that we are talking about two different things.
yeah.
Right.
We're talking about the casual fan, but we're talking about two different types.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so now that we are on the same page when it comes to that, you're talking about that casual, I'm talking about this casual. Which one do you think there is more of? Like, what do you think makes up the majority of the sales of that game? that casual, like this casual, that would be like, of course they don't have to be on this site, but what I'm saying is like your type of casual or my type of casual. Who do you think makes up the majority of the sales?
I couldn't tell you on that one.
Okay, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying your opinion. Like your opinion, what you think. Like, of course we don't have numbers. I don't have proof.
Yeah.
I'm just asking you. Like, what do you think?
I think the majority
Yeah.
is probably people who didn't play Tekken before. I think
Well, I mean, like they all could have played Tekken before.
the casual people who've been playing Tekken and the veteran people who've been playing Tekken. I think that's
Maybe older
the.
folks that played Tekken like way back in
I
the
think
day and then skipped a lot of the games
Of the
in
I
two
think
between
I,
casual
until now.
groups.
I think
Yeah, I'm
that
talking about out of the two casual groups, not like
Yeah, just between those, your definition of casual or Tevin's definition, which of those do you think make up more sales of Tekken?
I think both. It's like I can't really tell you which one or the other. I
okay.
think it's both.
Well, obviously I think I would make the argument that the casual I'm talking about makes up more, just because I think that, like, for one, especially with this game, that's definitely true because I think that you have the competitive, what do you call it, the competitive side of every game, right?
Yeah.
We can all agree that the competitive side, including all the people that watch, including the top players, including everyone, that's a small portion of the total people that play the game. Like in general, just not play the game, but I mean just like, you know, like
Casually look at
bought the
it.
game and just played through
Hmm.
the story mode or something, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, and that's what I'm saying. The majority of people are like that. Like they're like my artist friend who just bought the game because I like Asuka and I never played a Tekken game before, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
play this. Or there are people that's like, oh man, I only bought this game since Tekken 5 because they put in Lily and I like Lily. And
Hmm.
that's it. But it's like they don't, if you said, "Hey, do down back forward, Lily," they'd be like, "What?" Like they don't.
For the newer
It.
players, yes, but for like the casuals, the snake edges,
They
the
don't even
down
know.
back,
It depends on what casual you're
they
talking about. That's what I'm
yeah
saying. Like,
yeah
like if
they
if
they
I'm if
know them, like they know the snake edges.
well, no, hold on. Like if you're talking about a casual player that, like, yes, they're trying to get good at the game, and you say, do Lily Snake Edge. Yeah, they know what you mean. But if I go up to like some guy that's just literally like, I like Lily because Lily is pretty, and I bought the game because Lily is pretty, and you say do a snake edge, sounds like what?
Yeah,
The
of
fuck is
course,
that?
of
Hey, I
course,
don't even know what that is.
of
Like,
course.
like you know what I mean? And that's
The
what I'm
edge of
saying.
the snake.
I just do
Yeah,
cool
like
moves because it
like
looks cool.
yeah,
Yeah, of
like
course,
they
of
don't
course.
even know what they're doing. Like, like, so that's what I'm saying. Like the majority of the people who purchase the game and play the game, like not play, when I say play I don't mean play to get good, I just mean like they turn the game on every once in a while, play maybe 2 or 3 matches and then be like, all right, that's enough for me, like I think those are the majority, and this is the problem with boycotts in my opinion. Okay, when the intent of the developer says fuck the core audience, because that's why I like to use core audience more. Because all these people in here that are core audience, the people that you're talking about, Herbert, even like the casuals, that's a core audience member
Yeah,
because he's been playing the game since, like you said, Tekken 2. He may not be good at the game. He may not know
mhm.
no frame data. You know what I'm saying? But he knows who Kazi
Yeah,
is. If you
yeah.
said an electric,
Yeah,
he knows what an electric wing office is. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
he's just
yeah. We got plenty
casual.
of friends like that too. That
Right.
kind of
He's
yeah,
just at a casual level
Mm.
of the game. Like, but he's not casual in the sense of his dedication to Tekken. He likes Tekken, right? But
mhm,
like what I'm saying is that they are in a core audience. That core audience is completely different than the what I am talking about, the casual audience. The casual audience are the people who are there for a short time. Like they're not really there because they are really dedicated to Tekken or anything like that. And so when a developer decides that they care more about this casual audience, essentially a new audience, over their
yeah,
core audience, then there is not really, only failure can bring them to heal,
Yeah.
complete failure. But the thing is that the numbers that the core audience has, by the nature of success, will not bring immediate failure because you're too small. Even if all of you stopped playing, what would happen is that, well, there would be a noticeable like, because some of you guys are big, so like if they stop playing, right, like, there would be some like, oh shit, they're not playing anymore, right?
Yeah.
But what would happen is that Tekken would die over time. You would see the effects of its death in Tekken 9. You wouldn't
Well,
see it
Hmm.
immediately
Not an
because
well,
8.
well,
that's the effect that the core audience has. It keeps the community up. So yes, like
yeah. So,
eventually you'll have that effect. But if you want
so
them to change it now, you have to affect the actual casual audience.
yeah. So it'll either be that or what happens with Strive, where like all of the old players get pushed out and all of the new players kind of take over.
Yeah, they become the
You
new
know,
core
and
audience.
I
Right.
think that's exactly what they wanted to do with this
Yeah,
game.
exactly. I agree. I think that that's what they want to do. And that's why I laugh at stuff like this because they don't, they, this, okay, what's the best I can put? I'm really not trying to sound mean, but the thing is that like, it's naive. It's
Yeah.
like they believe that, well, I really, 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 really feel this way. And I know a bunch of other people feel this way, and it's correct. And let's say it is. I agree with like pretty much everything they said, I agree with.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's just like you have to realize you have almost no power. You don't have zero power.
No, the
You
investors
can't,
do.
your effect on not playing the game and not doing all this, it does matter, but it matters more in your personal life than it is trying to change Tekken 8 because is their intent, and you do not have enough power to change their intent. And even if you got everybody together to try and change their intent, trust me, they will burn it to the ground before they do that. Like the
Mm,
only person that can truly change their intent is the person that signs their paychecks. And the person that
yeah.
signs their paychecks
That's
cares
true.
more about Tom, Tom that works at Walgreens, who just turns the game on and it's
So
like, yeah, I
specific.
play with Kazamia. Yeah, I
Kazami,
like
Kazamiya.
like they care way more about
Kazami.
him. Kazamia. Like they care way more about him than like some guy who has all of these opinions and standards and shit like that. Like the core audience, they're really important. I'm really not trying to make it seem like the core audience is like this insignificant thing. They're the foundation. Like think about it like a house, right? Like a house has all this cool shit, like walls and a roof and like furniture on the inside. And there's way more shit that the house is composed of, you know,
Yeah,
that you would think that's the house. But the house can't do shit without the foundation, right?
that's
And the
true.
foundation is just a fucking cement slab.
Yeah,
Like it's just essentially it's a cement slab with a few fucking rebarb and shit like that.
yeah,
So like the thing is that when you have a luxurious house with a bunch of expensive shit in it and everyone wants to come over all the fucking time, it's very easy to say, well, why the fuck do we need a fucking cement slab? The shit just doesn't sit underneath there, right? So
yeah,
yeah, like when you're gone, yes, it will eventually, the house may not topple down immediately. It's
yeah,
gonna topple down 10 years from now, but it will topple down. But if you are deluded enough to think that you can boycott and change it right now, it's
yeah,
naivety. It's not,
yeah,
you're naive. It's like you're not going to get anything done. And honestly, it's unhealthy too, because you are honestly, even though they said all this shit, they're actually still attached.
Yep.
yeah,
They're actually still attached because this
Because I
first
didn't
They
time,
even
are.
doing
let's
it in the
save,
first place.
yeah,
yeah,
right. Let's save Tekken 8. That tells me implicitly that they want to play Tekken 8, but they don't like what Tekken 8 is, and so they still have this emotional attachment to the game, even though so right now it's like there's actually a hypocritical like feeling in here where essentially they want to play Tekken 8, but Tekken 8 is so toxic towards them that they're like, I can't play it because it literally is toxic towards me.
Yeah.
But I just wish it wasn't. And it's
Yeah.
like they need to come to terms with reality. And they're telling me that I should come to terms with reality. But look at their actions.
Yeah.
Everything
The
that they
cross.
do around fucking Tekken 8, they should move on. Why
Yeah.
don't they?
You gotta empower the people, man.
We're already cured of our ailment. We were cured.
Yeah, we left already. I don't give a fuck. The only
Yeah.
time I talk about Tekken 8 shit is when I'm here.
Yeah.
And I
Now,
barely want to talk about it, to be honest. It's
yeah, I
like-
know you. I know it. I know. Hey, well, Josh, what do you think?
I think it's funny. I pretty much share Tevin's opinion 100% because at this point, it's just sad because we've been through this song and dance so many times in the past, and it's sad to see it happen to another franchise that you like. But at this point, whatever. Right? There's nothing to save. Tekken from the ground up. It's
She don't
Tekken 8's
want to be
foundation.
saved, dude. She don't want to be
Yeah,
saved.
like
The
it was
smartest
over.
one
She don't
Project
wanna
had
be
ever said in his
saved.
life.
Tekken 8.
It was
You don't
over.
want to be saved. Tekken 8.
It was over January
Not wrong.
2024, and it was really over when we were questioning the idea of aggression. It's like,
Yeah.
are we sure that's a good idea?
Yeah.
Like that's and of course there was like leading up to the release, and then there was the beta. Then you tried it because my coping phase was like, well, Tekken has been doing such a good job. They can afford to just fuck around. They can make a Looney Tunes edition, and then I played
Looney
it. I was
Tunes.
like, yeah, and it's like
Bro.
that was me coping. I was trying to like push it around. It's like, yeah, it maybe won't be that bad. I mean, or maybe it could be crazy. Fuck it. Tekken 4. It's time for them to try new things. And then when I played the game, and the only thing that was keeping me was Reina, but I couldn't get around the heat. I couldn't get around the huge hitboxes. I couldn't get around the stages. It was just like, well, oh well, it was fun while it lasted, and that's pretty much the most. And then every new thing following that has just been more of what I didn't like. Because we said in your last live stream, it's like if you had an issue with if you didn't have an issue with season 1, you shouldn't even bitch about season 2. So all I see are a bunch of hypocrites finally coming to terms with something that they should have
That
known
is so
a year
true.
ago.
I didn't bring that up. That is so true, Josh. Like the thing is that these people, they were going through what needs to be coined as Street Fighter V syndrome. Because that was the first big time that had happened. It was with Street Fighter V. When that game came out, they were coping so hard and they wanted everyone to participate in their mass delusion that the game was not shit. And it was. And so like Tekken fans at the time, they didn't even have to participate in the delusion because they had a good game. They could just say, okay, whatever, I don't care. I'm not arguing with you. I'm gonna go play Tekken 7. And it was like that. And then all of a sudden they want to play Tekken 7. When's Tekken 7 gonna come out? I'm like, I thought you were a Street Fighter fan, and I thought Street Fighter 5 was good. Like, why the fuck you guys didn't give a fuck about Tekken ever? But now all of a sudden you give a fuck and you're bitching at me for when Tekken 7 coming out. When no Tekken player is bitching right now because we know this has been normal for us. Like, yeah, it comes out in arcades, then it gets another update in arcades, then it gets a home version. Like, we know what the rigmarole is. We're just waiting. It's like, so it was so easy to tell when someone didn't play Tekken. I was like, oh, why are you bitching? Like, if you're bitching, you don't play this fucking game.
Yeah,
I don't know why you're even bitching right now.
Yeah.
Like, I thought your game was good.
Yeah,
like,
what are you doing here?
Yeah,
I
so
remember Fighter came out with no story mode, and everyone was like, "Well, all you gotta do is wait; it'll be free."
yeah, and then when it did come out, it was fucking dog shit. And then they're like, "Oh well, all fighting game story modes are shit anyway." So anyway, it's like Tekken 8.
Bro,
so
that
Tekken,
Mickey Mouse laugh got me.
the Tekken fans, they're going through this shit right now because they were on top for almost 10 fucking years, and so it's like now that they got what they asked for, they're on top. When Tekken 8 comes out and it's a fucking stinker, they're going through the same shit. They're like, no, it's great, guys. No, like actually, we just got to give it a chance. Like, they want to like it so bad that they just that it's blocking their ability to actually, like, I'm not even gonna say be objective. It's not about being objective. It's about you're blocking your own feelings because there's a negative emotion that you don't want to feel. You're like, oh man, I
Yeah.
don't want to like this. I don't want to not like this game. I want to like it. So I'm going to block that because I don't want to just disregard something that I could love. So I'm going to give it a chance. And that's okay, actually. Giving it a chance is okay. But there's a difference between giving it a chance and then excusing things that you know are that you agree that are poor. Not me agreeing, not my opinion, your opinion you think sucks. Like
Yeah.
you are saying you're trying to like you're not even coming to the conclusion of like, well, that's bad, but like I can manage it, or I'm gonna take this trade off, or whatever. You're just trying to ignore it, and then when other people bring it up, you're trying to make them look like they're crazy for bringing it up, or it's not that bad, or you're just a fucking sure. You remember when everyone was saying Arsenal Nash was a fucking scrub, and he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about when he was saying all these problems with the game. He was like, "This game fucking sucks."
Yeah.
Like,
Everybody was on his ass like, oh, you just mad because you ain't winning
yeah,
like you
right.
used to.
Exactly. He was one of the only ones at the time that was like unrelentingly like, no, this game fucking sucks. And then what was
Even
his
when he won.
response? Well, yeah, well, because his response after that argument was, well, this game still sucks, but you guys are right. I guess if I'm gonna keep playing it, I guess I just gotta do the thing that wins. So I'll just do the thing that wins, I guess. And
Yeah,
then he
fucking
started
sucks.
winning.
Yeah,
And he started winning. And then he's like, this game still sucks, by the way.
yeah. Now,
Like,
now, Kuroki,
Yeah,
what is your opinion on
shit.
this
It
technique
sounds
of
a
boycott?
lot like Street Fighter Five in a way with uh fucking Mike Ross. Mike Ross for the longest was like, no, this game's fucking trash. And at the time he was part of the
oh yeah,
like
that's true.
the
I remember that.
the big promoters of Street Fighter Five, and you know at that point that's kind of why Bogus Journey started splitting apart, and he stopped making content with Street Fighter because he's like, I don't fucking like this game anymore. Eventually,
Yeah,
he just disappeared from the scene and came back to play Guilty Gear as Waxel, and that was cool and all, but that was a rough time for him because he tried to force himself to play a game he fucking hated, and he
yeah,
actually genuinely quit it because he's like, if I don't like the game, I'm not going to continue forcing myself to play something I fucking hate.
yeah,
Um, so Tekken 8 for me is a weird one because every time in the past that I got to play it, I felt the same thing over and over and over again, which we spoke about a little bit before the stream started. But just this week, I did my live stream for Tekken 8. We did the whole story mode, and I wanted to see if the game felt the same through the story mode as it does in just regular play. And mind you, like the story is supposed to be your kind of like the casual person's introduction into something like this. Maybe they don't play a
yeah,
lot of competitive, so the first thing they do when they open the game is go play story mode.
yeah,
Um, so that when I went in and I started playing it, I was like, okay, uh, cinematic wise, it's like it's got good presentation. All right, let's keep it going. One thing I started noticing was they started implementing a lot of slowdown in the middle of my matches, so I was fucking up my combos, my inputs was all over the place,
yeah,
and I was still having fun with it, but I felt like I was getting a little bit frustrated because I knew what I was doing with these characters, but I couldn't pull it off. It felt like everything I learned from my prior experience didn't apply to this game at all.
mm, I see.
Um, as it kept progressing through the game, I noticed defense was at an all-time low, and this was I don't even have the patch for 2.0 or the season 2 update. I completely deleted that update from my system, and
Really?
I have the last update, which was the Clive update. That was it.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't
but
know you could
even
do that.
then, yeah, yeah, but even then though, while I was playing the story mode, I noticed that the rushdown was getting so bad I couldn't defend myself. I was finding myself constantly being pushed into the corner with no defensive tactics to get myself out of it. The only thing I felt forced to after a while, midway through my story, was I had to start using my rage arts and my rage mechanics to even fight the AI because they were on a full relenting assault with that shit, breaking my
Yeah,
guard constantly over
yeah,
and over and over. I'm like, what the fuck?
yeah,
So by the time I finished the game, I was like, okay, story wise, I thought it was fun. It was a cool, like if this was just a movie that I could sit back and watch, cool. But if I'm over here interacting with this game, I expected my Tekken to be functional,
yeah,
and it didn't really Tekken for me. It like everybody else has been comparing it to lately. It's Soul Calibur, which is just like this full-on offensive 50-50 mix-up kind of bullshit, but without any of the strategy behind it.
Yeah. Okay. well, let me get to my second question, guys. So,
Right.
does Tekken 8 need to be saved? I
Hmm.
will go first on this one, and kind of what Cross and the Immortal Afro were saying. You have to come to terms with what Tekken 8 is. It's not Tekken 7, it's not Tekken 6, Tekken 5. It's a whole different beast. And from the get-go, they designed it a certain way. They wanted it to be aggressive. They wanted to turn down legacy skill. There's a lot of things in this game they wanted it to be this way. You're asking them to change things that they wanted to be in the game in the first place. So it's like, how do you save something that is already meant to be opposite of what you want from the get-go? From the very beginning, it was this way. And season 2, they doubled down. They doubled down and put more of what they wanted, even though they promised defense. But,
I mean, they literally said afterwards that they don't intend to take away the aggression part of it. Like after they said, like after that, like they had another interview. They were like, "Yeah, we don't intend to take that away." I'm like, "Of course you don't."
Yeah, it's like there is no saving Tekken 8. It's the way it's gonna be. It's like even like before this boycott thing, we were already vocal about how the game was with Arslan Ash, like you said, Arslan Ash speaking out, me speaking out. There's been so many players that have spoken out, but it was for naught because they already planned it to be what they want it to be. But Kuroki, is Tekken 8 worth saving? Or can it be saved? However you want to slice it.
I mean, we've seen games where there's like I'm kind of odd. We were just talking about Street Fighter, but halfway through its development or towards the end of its development, it changed hands and stuff. I don't know if that is something Tekken could even go through, especially right now. But I mean, if it's any indication that there could be some kind of like leadership changes halfway through the development of this game, but like Cross was saying earlier, we're not going to see the effects of this until Tekken 9.
What about you, Josh? Should we save Tekken 8, or does it need to be saved? Can we save it?
As the song goes, you can't save somebody who doesn't require saving. This is the best Tekken has ever been. It's got the most players. It's got the most attention. I don't see what these guys want, really. Because it's like you're trying to save. What's the best way to put it? Like at the end of Cinderella, where the prince is walking her down, like she already got her glass slippers on and walking down the stairs. And there's this poor guy down behind the crowd, like, no, let me help you. I can save you. That's what they look like. You look like that bum in the background nobody wants to associate with, trying to come and save the princess because you think he's doing something malicious to her, but she's into that shit. So it's like, there's nothing here to save, man. It's like, to me, and this is one thing I think is funny. If you genuinely love Tekken and want to play real Tekken, if you don't have an emulator or a way to play the old games, you're full of shit. So it's like, if you really want to play Tekken, you'll be playing Tekken 6 on RPC.
Well, I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't.
Well, on the contrary, Mr. Afro.
I shouldn't have to.
So it's like there's
broken
already
record
a way.
syndrome.
Because it's like, the funny thing is, we know what they're not going to do is re-release the old Tekkens. So it's
I mean,
like,
Harada literally said that he wasn't gonna do it.
yeah.
That's
So it's
crazy.
like,
No Tekken
So,
collection. Fuck you.
yeah.
I
So it's
mean,
like, if you
you have
really
to
want
rely
to
on fucking Nintendo
yeah.
for past fucking
Yeah.
Namco fucking fighting games. That's crazy.
Yeah, so go play old Tekken. Like, that's how you save Tekken 8. And you're not saving Tekken 8, you're saving yourself. Go play Tekken
Yeah.
6.
Exactly.
Play
That's the
Tag 2.
entire point I've been trying to get at. You cannot change a giant company. Like your chance. This is not like uh yeah, no. No, you're
Show
just
them
not.
your
It's
disdain
so
by playing the games
unrealistic.
that you love.
You're getting high on your own feelings. Like,
Yeah.
just come on, come back down to reality. Like, I get it. I've done the same fucking mistake. So I'm not trying to beat you up, but really, dude, it's like it's
Yeah,
just
because
like, come on, man.
it does suck. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
it
want to like
sucks.
make it seem like it's like, I'll get over it, because, like, everyone gets their turn.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. I wish it wasn't like that. But
Yeah, it'd be great if I could just boycott something and then
it'll be
there
back
you
to the way it
go.
was.
Yeah, that'd be fucking
Like,
awesome. It's
they
just
released
that's
an apology, and season 3 is like Tekken 7.
yeah.
Vanilla Tekken 7.
No,
It's
but
like,
like truly though, if you really love Tekken, there's countless Tekken games to go back and play, and at that'll probably show them more than anything, like who or what the kind of Tekken game they want really is.
No,
Like
okay, hold on.
So
no, no,
so
no, no.
so
I'm just meaning like in like if people are to show a company like where the strength of a fighting game really is, like play the ones that actually do have all of that.
I'm just saying
Not
that, like, okay, when you said that there's plenty of Tekken games available to play online, it's like I don't know how true that is. I mean, like, if I want to say, like, right now, let's just say I'm like, man, I really love Tekken 4. How am I gonna play that shit online with people?
Yeah.
yeah.
The best
Like,
thing,
I
there's some
mean,
news. Like, there's a PS2
five and six run
recompilation
on online.
tool being developed. So soon we're
Yeah.
gonna get native PC versions of
yeah,
PS2.
that would be great. But until that day comes,
Yeah.
there's not
Yeah,
actually really good ways to play the majority of Tekken games online. Like people will bring up, well, I can play Tekken 2 and I can play Tekken 6. And it's
Yeah.
like you can, but the thing is that like the quality of the connections are not very great. Like they're all right. They're enough,
no,
you
of
know.
course, no net. There's really no. There was no good net code back in the day either.
Yeah, that's my point. It's like um if you're a Street Fighter player and you don't like Street Fighter 6, there's actual alternatives. You could
Yeah.
go
Yeah,
play Third
30th
Strike. You
anniversary.
could go play fucking. I mean, like you don't even gotta go do that. You could just go like go on Fightcade, play Third Strike. Boom, right there.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah,
go
Fightcade.
play fucking all the alpha games. Boom, right there. You could play Street Fighter 2 fucking Grandmaster Challenge. Boom, right there. It's like you could play almost every fucking Street Fighter game that ain't Street Fighter 4. That's the only one. It's
No.
like so.
Cool enough though, I will say Fightcade is starting to put out like PlayStation 1 and 2, so we're actually able to play Tekken 3 on Fightcade now. And then
Well,
eventually
That's
we'll
pretty
have
cool.
great.
PS2
That's
emulation
pretty
with
cool.
Tekken 4 and 5.
That's
I
great. And
mean,
when we get there, I will change my tune. But until then,
yeah,
that is not the case. And I
Yeah.
think that Namco knows this. I think that
they do.
they're not as confident as well, no, 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 no. Actually, can I take that back? Rewind. Okay,
Oh
look.
no, they confident, all
Cap,
right.
Capcom is not necessarily confident in the idea that people will go and play other games. It's just that they have been forced to deal with the reality that the games are out there and they are already available to be played and they play well. But despite that, people still play Street Fighter 6. So they said, oh
Mm,
shit, I guess it actually, like,
yeah.
it's funny when people actually are confronted with the reality of piracy, they realize, oh fuck, I guess this doesn't hurt. Like it's actually not
Yeah.
that fucking bad. Because people aren't just gonna jump ship from Street Fighter 6 just to go play Third Strike or Alpha. They're gonna play Street Fighter 6 and play Third Strike, right?
Yeah.
If the
Yeah,
game's good. But but right now, when it comes to 3D fighting games, that option is not available. I can't just boot up like Soul Calibur 3 Arcade Edition or Soul Calibur 4 or 5, you know, if I
Yeah,
wanted to do
2
that for
being
some
removed
reason.
from fucking
Yeah.
every online store and everything.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like with good like internet connection, like good like rollback and shit like that. Like you
Yeah,
can't
that's what I
do
meant, like
that.
the online edition of Soul Calibur 2.
Well, the online edition of Soul Calibur 2 doesn't have rollback. It's delayed.
Oh, okay.
But it
So
wasn't bad though. They had it was it, at least as far as I played it did
it
pretty
was
good
kind of
online.
bad. It was kind
Yeah.
of bad. Like,
Yeah.
but I mean, whatever. I don't want to
I
have
got
that
okay
conversation.
connection.
All
But
right.
like, but yeah, I
Okay.
guess like you're asking to like, does it need to be saved? My answer is obviously like no, because I
Yeah.
think that they're trying to go for a new audience, and I think that
Hmm.
honestly, quite frankly, their new audience likes this game. I don't think they hate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, they got what they
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah.
So it's
Because
over. You've
yeah,
been
Yeah.
because
strived.
Well, so segueing into the next topic. Now we had the good brother ShinBlade come out with a video, very nice video, saying that all of the outrage for Tekken 8 is fake. It's just a trend,
Fake news.
fake news. You know,
Fake news.
this is something that people are just, okay, just bandwagoning, because at first nobody was really hating on Tekken 8 too much, right? It was all love, but as soon as Tekken 8 season 2 dropped, everybody all of a sudden we're boycotting now. We're boycotting, and we got all this rage, and the game is not good, and this and that. Now let's play a quick
If you watch my
quick
Tekken 7
snippet
streams, I
of
complained
ShinBlade.
so much. It was annoying to me. I hardly even like 5% complain in this game. So don't think I'm an advocate on this. Oh, I'm just liking to. No, I hate, that's a strong word, but I strongly dislike just advocating for something because it's cool. It's taking. No, I'm a realist. There's nothing wrong with season 2. I'm tired of people who do not play Tekken making content about season 2
Don't
is
you laugh,
bad.
Kuroki.
Who don't play Tekken? Don't own a console. I've seen people on Twitter that I know for a fact don't own a PC or console talking about Tekken 8 is bad. It's a trend, and I hate what a direction of being in fighting games and enjoying yourself and having fun is leaving. It makes me real sad. See that whatever's trending, even the people you seeing them following the trend. Got to say, I see people that I would never think they'll be a trend follower and making videos knowing damn well they love playing some damn Tekken 8. People are faking playing Tag 2, faking playing Tekken
he's
7.
right.
No, I love
Faking
avoiding Tekken 8.
for a trend. It's like the crate challenge. Remember the crate challenge? Motherfuckers walking up the damn crate and falling up and busting they damn bones, cracking ribs. You remember the crate challenge? The pandemic exposed a lot of how the human brain works. And it's
Amazing.
sad that people are really talking bad to the creators of the game, Harada, McMurray, making them block people. It's real sad. Like
I ain't gonna lie. Listening to this the second
It's
time,
making them real sad.
I'm like, this nigga spitting.
I know. I mean, honestly, this is the first time I'm listening to it, and I'm like, what did he say that was wrong?
So
I'm like, everything he said was right. Like,
so
I think
I just wanted to
maybe
play
I'll
that.
disagree. Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's not the full thing. I'm not going to play the full thing. If anybody wants to watch the full clip, please go over to ShinBlade's channel and watch his full video so you can get the full video of his breakdown of like fake outrage. But my main point for playing that video is to ask a question: is the outrage for Tekken 7, is it warranted? Is it not warranted? Is this just a trend, or is it justified as far as the outrage? What do you guys think?
It's kind of everything. It's
I think,
all of it at the
two
same
things
time.
can be correct at the same time.
Yes, exactly. Yes, it's so yes, it's warranted, and yes, so it's I don't believe that all of it is just fake outrage. I think that's the only thing I would probably disagree with him. But I think when people say all, they don't mean all. They don't mean 100%. You gotta give people some leeway when they use terms like all or never. Because almost nothing in this world is never or all, right? So people mean the majority. They mean the majority of it is fake. I don't believe the majority of it is fake either, but I do think that it's fueled by a small minority of people who really give a fuck about what Tekken, with the like mechanical identity of what Tekken is. And but these people have been saying what they've been saying for a long time. And I think that what bothers him, okay, so because you got to think about it from the perspective of someone that enjoys the game. It's easy to look at what Marcus is saying and saying, what a fool. Like, look at the shit he's saying. He's so stupid. Well, okay, you're looking at it from the perspective of someone who doesn't like the game, but look at it from the perspective of someone who enjoys the game. So if he enjoys the game, then he is not lying when he says there's no problem with the game because he likes the game. So to him, well, yeah, he doesn't see anything wrong with it because the game is good to him. So like, why would he say there's something wrong with the game when he thinks the game is good? Like, you know what I mean? So that's one thing. The second thing is that like there are a lot of people who bandwagon, onto something that they have never touched the game. They don't know anything about it, and that's the majority of people. It's like, oh, okay. If everyone told them that Tekken 8 was a fucking amazing ass game, like you're saying, well, why the fuck do people have a problem with it now when they didn't have a problem with it in season 1? Because the majority of people are fucking bandwagoners. Like they are just following the fucking trend. Now that all the big YouTubers are telling them that it's a fucking problem, now that it's a problem. Now they don't like the fucking game. Now blah blah blah. And that's what he's talking about. He's like, why are people all of a sudden like all these people they're bandwagoning and all of a sudden they're being hella hyper fucking aggressive? But this is the thing that I think I would disagree with when it comes like with Marcus is that like I think a lot of those people did feel that way prior. It's just that some people are too afraid to say their opinion when they think that their opinion is in the minority.
Yeah.
When they think their opinion is in the minority,
they only jump on it
up.
when they have like everybody else around them has that mass general opinion about it.
Yeah.
Like,
when they got the numbers, when they have an advantage, when they feel like they have they're not gonna like if someone were to come at them, they have the numerical advantage, then they will do that because they'll say, oh, look, everyone agrees with me and no one agrees with you, so you must be the idiot, right? People love to have that on their side before they start talking. So it's like that is the thing that I think that Marcus is like having a problem with because he's like, a lot of these people ain't speaking from they fucking like how they actually feel. They're just jumping on a fucking bandwagon because that's what it is. And it's very annoying because he understands how the meta of Twitter can affect his actual game. And so if he's like, I liked season 1, I love season 2. So he's like, these motherfuckers are gonna ruin my game because they're bitching. If you don't like the game, don't motherfucking play it. And I'm like, I'm with you, dude. Like,
so shit. I'm with him on that because I know the way why he feels this way because there was a time where we were all playing Marvel Infinite. And if anybody remembers Marvel Infinite, that jump was ugly. The game looked ugly. But once you played it, it was so fun.
The gameplay was
it was like the one of the most, even so much to where like, of course, Max he did the revival of the Marvel Infinite with the mods and things like that to kind of make it look better so people would play it. But during that time, I remember people were just ragging on that game, like it looks so ugly and this and that, and this, which was the truth. But but we were still having fun with it. And once Dragon Ball Fighters came out, all the memes came out. Well, this is gonna kill Marvel Infinite. It was like it's like everybody was jumping on the bandwagon to kind of kill Marvel Infinite.
Yes.
Once people like started doing it. And that ended up, I mean, I don't want to say it's one of the main reason why Marvel Infinite died at the time, but I'm going to say it's one of the many reasons it died. And I think that he wants to keep Tekken 8 alive because he likes it. He doesn't want it to die. He wants it to still get content. And
I respect that.
I think he's scared that if everybody says that the game is bad and everybody's shitting on the developers and things like that, there's going to be a lack of content, a lack of updates, a lack of motivation from the company to, still continue supporting the game. And I think that's why another reason why he's so upset, why people are kind of doing the fake outrage thing, because it's happened before.
Of course.
It happens all the time. So I do think there is some outrage. It's kind of like a bandwagon type of thing, but Tekken 8, from the person who don't like it, is not good to me.
Yeah, of course.
So I think some of the outrage is warranted, but if you don't like it, don't play it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Because when I first watched the video, I still kind of have this opinion where I think like his take is, since I'm from the position of someone who never liked it, even from season 1, and I can respect that. If he likes it, that's fair. And I don't want that to. I almost don't want it to happen that way. If he's enjoying the game, I'm sure he's not the only one. There's a lot of people who do like it, or just now that they're in the minority, suddenly they're least likely to speak out because they don't want to get dragged, because he's getting dragged all in that video. Everybody's like, oh yeah, you're a shill, which I will just put out there. I think that's a lie. I don't think he's a shill, because I think from the very beginning when the game first came out of everybody I seen playing the game, he was having fun.
Yes, he was.
He was thoroughly enjoying.
There's a video that I have where it's me and him playing at that party, or that he threw. We were playing Tekken 8. He asked me, he was like, "Man, you like Tekken 8?" I was like, "Hell no, this game sucks." He was like, "Man, this is your game. This is our game." It's like all the offense you can get. He said he was like really happy for that game. So I agree with you there, Josh. I think that he genuinely loves this game. And
he was playing D-Lo, and he was cooking him. He was cooking him over a grand. He was like, "Yeah, you can't get away with that in Zafita shit no more.
Yeah.
It's a real guy. You gotta fight me. You can't run no more. You gotta fight me." Back then I was just like, I'm surprised he's liking this, because I always had the impression that since he was a high level player, that he appreciated the more nuanced aspects of Tekken.
Well,
It just seemed kind of strange to me at the time, but now I can kind of see why he is taken to this game so much. I don't agree with it.
Well, he's always favored offense. Yes, especially with the character that he plays, the counter hits and things like that. Like the game plays into his style that he's always played. So, he can play defensive. Like he's a great defensive player, just a great player in general. Like he's been a great player for years. But offense, whether he's playing Soul Bad Guy, who we've seen some of his matches with Soul Bad Guy, where right in the middle of the match, he'll transform into, the install with Soul Bad Guy and just go off. Yeah. So just going off is what he's always been into. So yeah, I agree with you. I think he genuinely loves that game.
Now I would say this, man. If we talking about like outrage, I think that's just such an overrated word to use. I would say like criticism is warranted, and not everything is gonna be perfect in anything that you have. Anything you play, a movie that you, even the greatest film or the greatest video game or whatever, it's gonna have some kind of issue to it. But the death threats and all the other shit, like I think that's just kind of stupid to me. Like, bro, like there's still people at the end of the day, and like, they're trying to make a life for themselves, and they're they're human beings. They're not fucking robots. But the way that these rabid fans, just like Mortal Kombat fans, same shit. You know, the way they try to talk shit to Ed Boon and his development team and shit. Like, oh, they didn't put Jade in the game this game, so back to the bitching board on Twitter. And that kind of shit is not the way to get what you want out of a video game or out of your experience. Um, but like you were saying, I feel like yeah, where he's coming from with his experience is genuine, and he's not jumping on a bandwagon. He's believing what he says. It's not like he's regurgitating what somebody else has told him. So in terms of that, like that's why I can respect his point of view. Now, do I think Tekken 8 has no problems whatsoever? Fuck no. Tekken 8's got absolutely a lot of fucking problems. Do I like it for certain things? Sometimes, but in the grand scheme of things, it should never come to the point where the development team feels like, okay, maybe we should just end production of this title because we're getting so many death threats or we didn't you know the overall mass downvotes and shit like that on our title is basically making it hard to even create another season of content. For him, like you said, he's trying to keep positive and keep the game alive because production could end up being cut short if things don't turn out too well. If numbers aren't good for this game, it might be the end of the franchise for a while, like Soul Calibur. So that is it's a double-edged sword when it comes to that.
Yeah.
You know what? Hey, I'm gonna put this out there for ShinBlade. You're right, man. I think you're right.
Man.
I think you have the right take because I left a comment on his video saying like, I don't know, man. This seems kind of silly, but after this discussion, I think you know what, the Tekken should be like this. The old school guys just need to get the fuck out the way. Stop trying to hold Tekken back.
Fucking old man.
Yeah, like it's like I mean, when you once you're over it, it doesn't bother me because like I still have my Tekken. I could go play 7 or 6 or tag 2, and it's whatever. So but I won't really reverse my opinion, but I do understand where Marcus is coming from, and I think that's legit. I think that's 100% fair.
Yeah, I agree, and that's kind of why I didn't really want to discuss, our takes on whether we like it or not with this particular topic because we know what our opinions are on Tekken 8, but just it's tackling that topic of fake outrage, and I do agree with him in that aspect.
Yeah,
some people
because people jump on the bandwagon, and there is a difference between someone who has a legitimate gripe, and then someone who's just participating in the outrage of it, and they don't know anything because you got it can get really what do you call it? Dangerous. Not dangerous in the sense of like whatever, like physical threats or whatever. I mean more so in like what ideas get like pushed as the correct ones, because like when Arslan Ash is talking about his issues and when a lot of like experienced Tekken players are talking about their issues, they're talking about very particular things, but a lot of times the people who participate in this outrage, they're just going to regurgitate what somebody else said. And if you follow them, if they were to follow those, let's say Michael Mirror say, okay, you guys are right, and then they listen to those people, oh, it's a wrap. Your game's gonna turn to shit. Like, and so I can understand the
I mean,
the
a
problem.
competitive player could say, oh, the frame data for this move sucks dick, and then somebody that's a casual watcher of his show will be like, oh, the whole game sucks dick. It's like, no, he's talking about one particular move.
It also kind of goes back to the issue that we've talked about in the past, so like this new format for game development through Twitter or social media.
Yes.
Right.
It's just not good overall. Like
I agree.
I think things were better back in the day where you didn't have this many more people not involved in development, crucial to the game's development. Because back then we had tons of great games, and they didn't need a Twitter timeline to understand.
And they took feedback through Q&A and through forums and shit, like not through this social media shit like now. It's a
Yeah,
completely different ball game.
yeah, yeah. I agree. But
Yeah.
on to I guess more positive news. Maximillion and Sega are teaming up for a Virtua Fighter 5 tournament. And I think this is pretty, I don't want to say pretty, it is pretty positive um, for the scene. And I love this, man. Like, I really do. We've seen time and time again Max try to do something for, I guess, you know, the little guys. I like this and I want to see more of it. I feel like Virtua Fighter 5 or Virtua Fighter doesn't get enough shine as it is. So just seeing that they kind of putting a spotlight on this game, this is a great game, is really, really awesome. Now, what do you guys think about this tournament? Have you heard of it or what do you guys think?
Yeah, I heard of it recently, and I think it's cool, but I'm also a little bit worried about it. Not particularly the tournament itself. I mean, the tournament itself seems like it's going to be fine outside of like it's probably going to be some stupid shit where like people don't set their rollback frames, to the right shit, and it's going to be like some guy comes in there with like 1 frame of delay and fuck everything up. So I'm not expecting it to. I'm just gonna, join it and not have any expectations of anything being, really done right. But whatever. If it is, it is. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not, it's freeze or whatever. You know.
Yeah,
But the thing that kind of has me worried, that always has me worried, is when normal people shit get into fictional things. I don't like that at all.
mm,
I almost always hate it
yeah,
because I think those two worlds should stay separated as much as you possibly can.
yeah,
Because the minute you do that, then egos get involved and paychecks get involved, and you break the like what do you call it? When I play a video game, whether it be a fighting game or whatever, I enter a different world, and that world is cut off from the rest of the world. Even though I'm playing against opponents, even though you're sitting next to me, it's just me and you in that world. But the minute there's a bridge to the real world in the game, I think that I don't have a good way of explaining it now, but maybe in the future I will when I think about it more. But I'm very confident that it always ends up with the ruination of that game now or later.
mm,
Because that should just not happen. Um, I don't like it. It's an indication that like someone outside of the development of the game has influence over, even in small part, in the decision making of the game, and I don't like that. So
yeah,
like any indication of that worries me. Like the whole like, well, Max has a little icon thing in there. It's like,
yeah.
yes,
You
for
see,
me to complain about that right now at that particular thing is ridiculous. But I'm not technically really just complaining about that thing. That's not really my concern. My concern is the fact that they were willing to do that. That the
yeah,
developers were willing to say, yes, we're going to put Maximilian in the game. Because it's like, no, no, you don't do that. Why should Maximilian be in the game and not Homestay Akira or not Shiwapan or not Tonkatsu? Like these are
yeah,
top level players that have been playing the game for an extremely long time and they are legendary. Why not Ryan Hart? At least he played the game and he's super fucking great. The
yeah,
reason why is because Maximilian has money.
He's got numbers.
Money's in numbers. Well, he has money because of the numbers, you know.
Influence.
And yeah, he
yeah,
has influence. And so that's what I'm saying. I don't want that. I want my game to be pure. I want my game to be my game. And right now, it's mostly that. And so people only look at things that's right in front of them, right in front of their nose. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Come on. It's like, so this one thing is going to ruin VF5? No, because you can't really ruin VF5 at this point. It's already done and made pretty much. God, I knock on wood on everything, right? But it's like, at this point, no. I'm talking about the future of VF, because just like how Marcus is talking about how people just jump on a bandwagon, this is exactly what this is. And I'm not trying to be mean, Herbert, but that's what I'm like. Just the idea that the topic is being brought up is evidence of that,
Mhm.
because like, you don't really play VF like that. Most people
No.
don't. But because Maximillion is talking about it, he's trying to shine a light on it or whatever, there's going to be a bunch of people who still aren't going to play VF, but they're just going to fucking talk about it a lot. And they're just going to be around it and socialize around it. And
Mhm.
that's really, really frustrating, because you have a bunch of people that actually don't give a fuck about your game, that don't know anything about the game, but they have ideas for what the game should be.
Yeah.
Well, I hope VF6 is like this, is like that, it's like this, it's like that. Get away, you social vulture. You don't care about VF at all. Not
Yeah.
not calling Max that. Not calling Max a social vulture. I'm saying that the people who are attracted to that are like that, because they don't actually care about the thing. Like, they don't care about VF. Or let's use Marvel Infinite, for example. Like Max clearly cares about Marvel Infinite. He put a ton of
Mhm.
money into it to make the game look good, to make it more appealing, so that more people can play the game, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't give a fuck about that game still,
Yeah.
because quite frankly, Marvel vs. Capcom games have never been my thing. Like, I've never cared about them. And what I'm saying is that, like, I think it's cool that Max is um trying to, like, get people interested into playing the game. And what's a good way to get people to play the game? Put some money on the line. Hey, here's a
Mhm.
tournament. I got some money on the line. People can play to win this shit. Show up and win some fucking money. I'm gonna make sure that good people, players show up, because money's on the line, right? So at the
Yeah.
very least, people are gonna show up and watch some really good VF, and people will see why the game is sick, right? That's all of that is actually really cool.
Yeah.
I don't like the step of, okay, now we're gonna put this shit in the game, of Max and shit like that. I don't like that, and I don't like the fact that people only become interested because of the social aspect.
Yeah.
It's like, be interested because it's Virtual Fighter. Don't be interested just because Maximilian talked about it. But when
Yeah.
that happens, everyone's looking for the next number one game, and everyone has VF in their crosshairs, and I don't like that,
Yeah.
because the price of being the number one game, everyone still doesn't understand. Even though it happens, we have example after example after example of what happens when that happens, but people always have this really retarded idea of, well, like, it doesn't have to be that way. It's like, yeah, I know it doesn't have to be that way. I'm talking about what tends to happen. Like, what tends to happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Maybe it doesn't happen. But what I'm saying is that what tends to happen is, when everybody's looking forward to a particular game, and for it to be the number one game, and the developer understands that, that's a bad mix. The
Yeah,
only time
So
a game becomes the number one game and it's not bad, it tends to be when nobody was looking for it. And when they're
yeah.
like, "Whoa, what the fuck? Where did this game come from?" And then it just so happens to be the GOAT. It just,
Yeah.
like Persona 5, for example, like that. Like, yeah. Like,
So I think that this tournament here is for the players. I think like the outside people really don't matter. It's for the people who love VF and want to play VF. So I don't think it's a bad thing per se. I can see what you're saying though, but I just I love seeing the spotlight shined on games that really don't get the shine that they normally should get. We've seen him do this with a couple of games, like you just said. We've seen him do it with Marvel Infinite,
mhm.
Marvel 2. Um, I'm not sure if they did Marvel 3, but I think things like this need to be appreciated. You know, uh, of course, we already got the VF community doing things on their own, throwing tournaments on their own and things like that. But like seeing something big from actually, the company itself that kind of sponsors something like this is pretty cool. Is what I believe, and I just love the prizes for this too. Not so much this, but that arcade stick that they have looks super dope.
Yeah, the prizes look. They did sound kind of cool, like a VF2 manga. That sounds cool, and uh, like again, like a lot of stuff is cool. I guess the only thing that like me and you are probably just gonna have like a fundamental disagreement on is that I think it already has the right amount of spotlight. I don't want any more.
Yeah,
I was just about to say that
because this is
I
right at the point to where when you have more,
no,
then it turns to shit. Like
yeah, no, I understand exactly what you mean because I'm sorry, Josh. I'll let you talk in just a second. Give me 1 second. But I understand exactly what you're talking about as far as influence and popularity because we don't want Virtua Fighter to turn into another Tekken 8
or
Hell
Strive
no.
or Street
or
Fighter
Strive
5.
or Street 5 or what have
Yeah.
you. And the more popular things get, the more they start to cave in to what the outside influences have to say, and that can negatively impact the game. So I understand exactly what you're saying, but I still appreciate things like this. Go ahead, Josh. I'm sorry.
yeah, I'm gonna go on. I pretty much agree with Tevin because, like, I think how I view this information is the way it should be, or hearing about it because since I'm not like a Virtua Fighter 5 guy, it's not for me. But I can't help but thinking that if I was a fan of Maximillion, then I would be more inclined to force an interest in the Virtua Fighter
Exactly.
5 because he's involved. Even though traditionally, because like the thing that kind of I don't dislike Maximillion. I don't watch him, but I will say there was a point where I was frustrated with him, and that's when I realized what he was. Because when Dead or Alive 5 came out, he's always been a Marvel guy, Street Fighter guy. And when Dead or Alive came out, in one of his videos, he was like, I've always loved Dead or Alive. I was like,
Yeah.
because if you like Dead or Alive the way I think you did, I would have heard of you like I heard of Master or Emery Reigns.
Yep.
Or Vanessa.
Yeah,
But-
definitely Emery.
Yeah, but because you're because I'm like, see where you messed up was like I already knew who you were. I dubbed you the Marvel guy, the Street
And
Fighter
Killer
guy.
Instinct. Yeah. Marvel and
like,
Killer Instinct.
You're
Yeah.
the 2D fighting game guy. You don't talk about DOA. You don't talk about Tekken. So for you to say I've always enjoyed this game, it's like just by off the bat, I'm questioning your validity. I don't believe you. So for him to go doing all this stuff for Virtua Fighter, I can't help but think this is a
Political stunt. Gaming political stunt.
Yeah, pretty much because it's like what Tevin said, like my mantra is make gaming niche again. He's doing the opposite. He's trying to pull Virtua Fighter out of niche. Same thing with Rufamonger. Because when all these fighting games started getting a little weird, it's like, well, just look forward to Virtua Fighter. Virtua Fighter.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Well, why?
And I
why?
hate that.
Yeah,
I really do because it's like if you go ahead. I'm sorry, I was about to cut you off. Go ahead. Man.
You're right because like the way you're responding to it is, I think the right way you should because like on the surface, this looks infallible. Like, oh, what's wrong? He's only bringing awareness and blah, blah, blah. It's like this game doesn't need awareness because all the right people already play it.
Yeah.
You don't need anyone else because anyone else
it's available to play. If you want to play it right now, you can just buy the game and play it right now. There's no barriers. It ain't like this is some shit where we're playing fucking on a Parsec server that Adam Yuki fucking bought, AWS server, and it has a RPCS3 on it with fucking Final Showdown, and we're all playing on this shit. We're not doing anything like that. Like you can just buy the game and play it, and if you're not willing to do that thing, that simple thing right now before some big guy influences you to do it, then you don't give a fuck. and you won't give a fuck after he influences you to do it either. Like
Yeah.
it won't change anything. But but your opinion of what you think it should be when you finally play the game and it's not that, you're going to want that game to change to match what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And that sucks because it's like that sucks, man. And I'm like, so it really boils down to, like, if you like the game, you'd already be fucking playing it. You don't need anyone to fucking tell you to go play it. It ain't like you never heard of fucking VF before. And I think that shining a brighter light on it, if you want to hold a tournament and say, hey, I'm holding a tournament, man, I got $1,000 up, let's go, I'm gonna stream that shit.
Yeah.
That's actually cool. I have no problems with that shit. Like, hey, I just want to like let's say, like, let's rewind time and let's say, well, okay, well, how would you want it done, Cross, if he was gonna fucking do it? I was like, okay, I would say it pretty much like this: it ain't an official tournament. It ain't hosted by fucking Sega. It's none of that shit.
Yeah, it's
It's
just sitting in
literally
on
just something he said he was gonna do. He was like, you know what? I really want to watch the top level players just fight over a fucking $1,000. I think that would be sick. And so I'm gonna fucking hold a tournament because I don't know how this fucking game plays at a top level. I want to see how fucking sick it is. So I'm gonna host a tournament and you guys fucking fight over $1,000 because I'm rich. All right. And let's see what fucking happens. It's gonna be
Yeah.
this Saturday. I would be like, damn, that's sick. Let me join up for that because
Yeah.
it's pure. It's about the game. It's about, but all this, like, oh wow, isn't it cool that we got Sega involved? And isn't it cool that we got all the official stuff? And I'm trying to shine a light and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, no, I don't want any of that because it ain't right. And like, again, like you said earlier, Josh, where you're like, well, look, oh, this thing is bad, just go play VF. I can't stand that mindset. I cannot stand it. It's like, because you're making a really giant assumption. That is like saying, man, you don't like fucking Street Fighter 6, you should go play Strive. You should go play a KOF. It's like, these games are too different. You
But I don't
would
wanna.
never make such a giant leap in assumption in a 2D fighting game. You would not tell someone that if they don't like fucking, I don't know, Melty Blood, that they should go play Street Fighter. You'd be
You
like,
should.
what?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
because those games are so different that you'd be
Yeah.
like, well, I don't know if that's actually a really good recommendation. I'm not even saying Street Fighter's bad. I just don't. But that's the thing. That's how I know that, like, these, what do you call it, these people that they're talking about it, like, they don't really play these games like that.
The
Because
casuals.
well, it's fine if they're casuals. I'm not trying to, like casuals are terrible, but it's like, no, there's another agenda beyond that, and you're trying
Yeah.
to use your status to, like, essentially, like, tell people to do things. That's bad advice. It's like, if people are Tekken, if they're truly Tekken players and they like Tekken, and this is the thing about 3D fighting game players, they're vulnerable to this type of, let's say, advice, because 3D fighting game players tend to only play one 3D fighting game,
Yeah.
or they tend to only really learn one 3D fighting game. Let me say that maybe they turned on another one, but they tend to read their mind, and how they think 3D fighting games play is focused around the one that they learned, right? And
Back when it was like
so,
everything was properly in their place. There was a Dead or Alive people, there's a Virtual Fighter people, there's the Tekken people, and the Soul Calibur people.
right,
Over time,
exactly.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so when you tell people, like, hey, Tekken 8 sucks, like, it sucks, just go play VF, that is not a sanctuary for Tekken players, because it would be
Yeah.
like telling a Street Fighter player to just go play KOF. It's
Yeah.
like, no, when they go over there, they're gonna find that the game is not only different, it is wildly different. That the things that they want to do in Tekken aren't going to work in VF. Like, okay, let
Yeah.
me just use movement as a basis for setting up my attack. You're going to die in VF if you do that.
Yeah.
You're just going to get killed. It's like,
Yeah.
so it's like, you can't do that. You have to take VF as VF. You cannot judge it by the standards of Tekken, which, This is the fundamental problem that I have when people say, "Oh, you don't like Tekken? Just go play VF," as if that would be a good recommendation. Or they're both 3D fighting games. Why can't they just go play VF? It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you know, it,
Yeah.
so it's annoying. No, I don't think 3D fighting game players would do that to you. Like if you were talking to some Tekken player and you were like, "Hey, I don't like Tekken. Is there another like game I should go play?" They would be like, "No."
Yeah.
They'd be like, it's like it's pretty much just Tekken. Like you go play
Yeah.
older Tekken
There's
games.
nothing
Like
like
they wouldn't. They wouldn't tell you to go play VF. They wouldn't
No.
because
Yeah.
they have that like at least even though they only play Tekken, they know like well these other 3 games they play however they fucking play. Like
Yeah.
you know like Tekken plays like Tekken and no like so
Yeah.
th- so I don't like that. I
Yeah.
don't want some like I don't want that for VF.
Nah,
I don't
bro. If
want
you
that
don't
for
like
I,
any of
VF
those
to be
3D
shit.
fighting games, you should play Sonic the Fighters. It's the best fucking 3D fighting game ever
Oh
made.
shit.
so before we move on to the next topic, which is kind of a segue, did everybody get a chance to speak? I don't know if you got a chance to speak, Kuroki or Josh. Did you guys,
Well,
get your points across?
I said my part. I think it's unfortunate. I think I would have to, on principle, just kind of come out against it because it's not good. I
Yeah.
don't think it's good. I think it's bad overall. People, because you know the saying, well, some of the best things have happened because of good intentions, and
Yeah, some of the worst
sometimes,
things.
yeah, that's what some of the worst things happen because of the best intentions, and I think we really just need to kind of go. It's gonna be harder to do since everything's a lot more like connected, and everyone wants to be on the same team and shit. And it's gonna be a hard sell to really try to convince people that like things would be better cut off. Like people need to stay where they belong. You know,
Yeah.
if you like this game, then that's where you belong. If you like this genre, that's where you belong. Instead of this myth of unity and togetherness and all that shit. Because like I think like the unity and stuff is good within those separate communities, but not this whole gaming shit. It's too easy to what's the word, trick everybody simultaneously that way
Yeah.
because there's not too many free thinkers in a unified gaming industry.
Yeah.
Because I think back in the like 6th gen, it's just like, dude, everything was so good because the PlayStation guys hated the Xbox guys,
Yeah.
or it worked. Even
Yeah.
when they had games that shared all 3 platforms, like, yeah, your game runs like shit. It looks ugly anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm
This
gonna buy a PS3
feature,
now.
oh,
Like
Yeah.
Xbox first.
doesn't have online
Yeah.
play.
Yeah. Oh, you got to pay for your online? Whack.
Oh yeah, we got that free online. Get on my level, bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
It's like,
even like the separation with PC, where PC's like, look at all those plebs fighting amongst each other.
It's like we've been had online forever now for free.
It's like thinking back to a time when we couldn't have been more segregated. Was when we were the most peace, and it was like now everything's homogenized and gay, and everyone's pretending to be like, oh yeah, we're all friends, but secretly we hate everything that's going on. No one's like the fighting game community is a perfect example of that. Everything's been homogenized, and we lost all the fight games. And now it's Tekken's turn, and now they're setting their sights for Virtua Fighter because there's nothing left. There's nothing left.
Yeah.
We've destroyed everything, and of course, the devs from Virtua Fighter are gonna misread it because they're gonna think like, "Wow, everyone's counting on us."
They're
Right.
already saying very contradictory things. Like in every interview they've had, they'll say one thing, and then they'll say a completely different thing that contradicts what they just said. And I'm like, classic Sega, I guess. Like I can't. Like that's how they've always been. One step
We're
forward,
totally
2
not
steps back.
going to put complicated, stupid things into our game to make it more accessible for new players.
Yeah.
No, wink, wink.
Now, Kuroki, did you get a chance to answer? Is this a good thing or a bad thing? I'm not sure if we heard you speak yet.
Uh, I definitely have to agree with them on that same premise of like, some things don't need to just be like put into a spotlight to be a good thing. They're already good things because they were made that way. Uh,
Yeah,
and sometimes when you try to bunch up people who aren't even really fans into the fandom, it becomes this toxic waste of like, well, the new players want this in there, and the old players are like, no, but we want to keep this as pure as possible. Virtual Fighter is about the martial arts. The same argument we had with Tekken. And that tends to be the problem is when too many people put their hand in the fucking cookie jar, you get your hand, everybody gets their hand stuck in the damn thing. And it's like, well, what do we do now? Well, I guess we have to make choices that benefits everybody because we're all fucking stuck in the situation now.
Yep. I'm just as involved as the guy who's been playing. His hand's been in this cookie jar for 10 years.
Yeah, and also everybody can just say that they've been elite fucking. Oh, I've been playing the game for 5 to 10 years. I've
yeah,
been playing
five
the
to
game
ten.
Right.
for 10 to 20 years. They can
Yeah,
just
for
say that, like
a year and a
there's no
half.
way
Man, what?
to.
I've been a Tekken player for 50 years, man.
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and like start a domain, just like let's say Virtua Fighter 6. I've been playing Virtua Fighter for
1 billion years. I was
since
there when Yu Suzuki installed the fucking arcade board
I
and
was
was
there when Harada was
played.
first born, bro. I was
Yup.
I
there.
was
I
playing
saw it.
Shinmu. I see you guys were playing Virtua Fighter. I was playing Virtua Fighter RPG. That's how legit I was.
Virtual Fighter
Exactly.
RPG.
In the development studio while Yu Suzuki was smoking. I was there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dog, I
so
remember when the Dreamcast was like literally when the guy first put the first prototype of Dreamcast together, I was like there, bro. I was like, bro, you should add that little piece right there.
The Naomi board. Yeah, I was there too, bro.
I,
I
I
saw
told him
the
exactly
light
what he needed.
here put on the Dreamcast.
I said you should put Marvel 2 on the. Yeah, I know you don't know what that is yet, but you should put that on the console. It's definitely gonna be nice.
yeah.
But I want to segue to the next topic. Now, I think I know what Josh and Cross are going to say on this topic, but I want to ask it. So we've seen, Max put like a spotlight on different games and somewhat try to revive other games. Now, is there like any game that you would like to see a spotlight put on, or Risen from the Grave, or any type of revival of a certain fighting game, or it could be just any game that you like?
Yeah, I actually got one.
Was that
Soul Calibur 3 Arcade Edition.
okay?
Because
Mm.
that game is such an isolated event that if he actually were to put spotlight on it, maybe he would convince Namco to fucking re-release it.
Yeah,
Or maybe he would put enough money into the game to where somehow someone will make some bootleg rollback version of the game so I can actually play it.
yeah,
But
that's a good one. That's a
yeah,
good one.
that's about it. But yeah, anything else than that, not even Soul Calibur 2. I wouldn't say Soul Calibur 2. I would literally no other game. Just that one. That's it. That's what I would say. Yep.
Okay. All right. What about you, Kuroki? Any games that you would raise from the grave, or you like to see a revival or spotlight?
Ooh, definitely one that I can think of off the top of my head is Bloody Roar.
Oh, that's
Absolutely,
a good one too.
fucking love Bloody Roar, man. I definitely would like to see them revive the game, but also don't alienate the people that love that niche franchise because everybody else has everybody else in the chat has basically been saying the same thing. Like that there is a certain level where they can revive something of a dead franchise and it ends up holding up just the skeleton, or actually no, my bad, it's just the shape of it but not the skeleton of the thing that we like. So
Yeah,
you end up with like a hodgepodge of different fighting games trying to imitate what you wanted, but it's not really that.
yeah. Okay, yeah,
That's a dangerous one.
that was a really good one. What about you, Josh?
I don't know. I think if there's going to be a revival, I think we're going to get it in due time. I'm more so following the advancements in recompilation tools like the PS2 recompilation, Xbox
That's more
recompilation.
realistic.
I
Yep.
think
Agreed.
if it's ever going to happen, I would rather it happen all the way in the back where only people with privileged knowledge can enjoy it. So the
Agreed.
rest of you guys can go fuck yourself. I don't want you to know anything about this shit.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and arcade. I hope someone comes out with like more. They did it for the VF games, like the Naomi arcade board. They did it for that, but I want them to do it for the Namco boards because if they can do it for the Namco boards, then we can get Soul Calibur 3 AE, we can get Soul Calibur 2, we can get yeah, or well, we can get those games, and we can get the Tekken games as well. Like Tag 1 and 5 and 4 and stuff. So
Yeah.
like that would be really cool. Um, and I think they will because I mean, at some point, like we got the VF game, so like um, but yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. Me, I would like to see maybe like a Project Justice or Rival Schools type revival. I know we got the Capcom collection coming soon, but I would like to see like a newer one with updated graphics and things like that. Because that game is so dope, and it still does a lot of things that a lot of fighting games just doesn't
I
do. Like the creativity in that game is like off the charts. It's just you don't see the things in Project Justice and other games. It's just one of a kind game, and it's awesome. And I would like to see some spotlight put on it, especially when the Capcom collection comes out.
yeah, I feel like Capcom. Okay, this is the problem with like big companies. Like okay, in a fantasy world, yeah, I would love to see a new Rival Schools. That'd be cool. Um, but they can't afford to be that creative anymore. They're too big,
Yeah,
and when people like this, I had an argument with this one artist. He wasn't. He, I tried to explain it. Maybe I didn't explain it very well, but he was talking about like, man, why isn't there another Darkstalkers? And Darkstalkers is cool, and you can do it, and blah blah blah. And I feel like Darkstalkers just has like maybe a negative reputation or something. I was like, no, that's not it. I was like, I think Capcom understands that people like Darkstalkers. And I think that if they made a new Darkstalkers game, it would sell. So, with that being said, if I'm right, why would they still not make it? Because think about how much it takes just to make a Street Fighter game. Like it takes a fuck ton of money and a ton of support over a very long period of time,
yeah,
right? When they are done, which one okay, when they're done making Street Fighter 6, like completely, right? Like when it's said and done in the next 5 years,
yeah.
do you think they're going to make a Darkstalkers game, or do you think they're just going to make Street Fighter 7?
Definitely Street Fighter 7.
Right. It's because while a Darkstalkers game could do well, and it probably will, it just won't do as well as a next Street Fighter game.
Yeah,
And because they are spending so much money per title that they have to choose the biggest title to get the biggest return. You know what I mean? Because if they put that same amount of money and effort into Darkstalkers, then they're not going to get as much as they would Street Fighter.
yeah,
And so that makes it to where all these other franchises that we want, they're not going to come out from fucking Capcom. Like people, I want Dino Crisis. You're not going to get Dino Crisis because why would they make Dino Crisis when they can make Resident Evil?
yeah,
You know, like
yeah. Kind of in the same vein.
exactly right. When they're done making the next Resident Evil game, why would they move to Dino? And Dino Crisis is more likely than a new than another fighting game. I mean. Because
Yeah,
at least maybe you might be able to say, let's take a break. Maybe people are tired of Resident Evil. Let's give them Resident Evil flavored dinosaurs, But it's like fighting games are not like that. People don't get tired. This is like why the argument of like you can't just make the same game over and over again. Wrong. Like people don't get tired of fighting games because they're meant to be there. They have an arcade gameplay design. They're meant to be played over and over and over and over forever. That's why they're called forever games. People don't really get tired of them. That's why people are still playing fucking Street Fighter 2 Grandmaster fucking Challenge. It's like
Yeah.
it
That's why
doesn't matter.
that's why people are still playing chess.
Yes.
Hundreds of years. It's been the same game.
Yes.
It hasn't changed.
Exactly. So like the thing is that Street Fighter fundamentally, if they keep the fundamentals the same, it's a game that when 6 is done, people want 7. Like, and if you have to take a break, okay, let's just say that they were going to, because the guy disagreed. He was like, well, no, like they could just make a Darkstalkers game. I was like, they can. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm trying to like put you in the mindset of how they are thinking. Because if they do make a Darkstalkers game, right? How long you're going to expect the same amount of support for Darkstalkers than for Street Fighter, right? You're going to expect it to have multiple seasons and for it to have the most up-to-date graphics and for it to have balanced patches and all this stuff. Because otherwise, you're going to get all butthurt and complain all day. So, like you're going to expect it. So, how long is that game going to? How long is its lifespan going to be? What, 5 to 7 years, right? So, okay, so let's say right now, Street Fighter 6. Okay, Street Fighter 6, let's say it ends in 2027 or 2028, let's say, right? Let's say that's done. Then Darkstalkers comes out. And then Darkstalkers doesn't end until 2034. So that means I gotta wait to 2035 into Street Fighter 7?
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, not happening. Like, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, back when the company was smaller and the games were cheaper to make because the expectations from the players were high, but it wasn't like super duper high. It was just like, man, give me a fun game that's really cool. It was like they could pop out this game, that game, that game, that game. Oh, that one didn't work. Okay, whatever. This one, this one, this one. They could just try a bunch of different
version,
ideas.
Version.
Yeah, and they could be creative, but they're too big and they put too much money into every game because the expectations of players now are, in my opinion, too high. And because of that, every game has to cost $1 billion, which means at best you get one game over the span of 5 years that's good.
You also got to take in consideration the fact that these financial investors also put a shit ton of money into the product too.
Right.
So they're going to want a return on their investment, which
Right.
makes the demand from the developers way worse.
Right, exactly. Right. So why, like, when you go into an investor and say, "Hey, look, we really want to make a Darkstalkers game," and they're going to say, "Well, wait, isn't that just a fighting game? Like,
Yeah.
why not just make the next Street Fighter game? That's a fighting game. That fits into the same thing." It's going to be very difficult to explain to investors, like, why you should make a Darkstalkers game over
Nonsense. We'll make a Street Fighter turn-based game, like
Well,
Final Fantasy, but Street Fighter.
but yeah, like it's so like I would, to go back, yeah, I would love to see a rival schools, but I think that people who have those wishes, I think it's cool to have wishes. I guess I wish for shit too, but I guess like a part of me feels like it's cool to have wishes, I guess. There's nothing wrong with having fantasies, but I just wonder do people actually recognize that it's a fantasy? Like it's, like we're not in that reality anymore. Like if you want that, you need to go to smaller companies, like smaller
What does that
developers.
remind me of? That damn whatchamacallit? A Tribe Called Quest song with the 3 stacks. It's like, kids, don't you know all this shit is fantasy?
I don't think I heard. Well, I probably heard it, but it's probably been a long time.
Yeah, you definitely listen to that one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
But moving to the next subject, we got some new Fatal Fury, Call of the well, not Call of the Wild, but City of the Wolves.
Call of the Wild.
That's that third Zelda game. They just copy and paste they last.
Fatal Fury, Zelda
Fatal Fury
crossover. But yeah, they recently had like some exhibition matches between a couple of top players and
actually wanted to see how that's going to come out to play it forward.
So I think they had like some Street Fighter players versus like King of Fighter players. was actually pretty cool when they got a chance to show off the newest character. I can't pronounce his name. What is it? Hotomaru or
Hokotomaru?
Hotokumaru?
That's right.
And I'm not gonna.
This guy, we both pronounced it. He's still bushing his shit.
Hotodoki,
Hadoken.
Hadouken Maru.
Hadouken.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
so he was the newest. They showed off a trailer for him, and they're actually playing that character in this game, and he looks pretty cool. He got a new redesign, and it's everything that I kind of wanted him to be as far as his redesign. But this was a cool little tournament here. We got a chance to look at our favorite new fighters, Ronaldo and DJ Man.
Yeah, Ronaldo is gonna be my main.
And my thoughts, I think Ronaldo looks cool in motion. And like now that we have people actually behind him playing and showing off what the character can do, it's actually pretty sick to me. Did anybody else get a chance to watch this?
Watched a little bit of it.
I actually
not
didn't
all
watch.
of it.
I actually didn't watch any of it because I hate this shit so much
Oh my god!
that it sucks. Like it makes me really sad because I actually think the rest of the game looks really cool, and then there's just like a turd on the screen, and it really makes me sad. I really hate real world shit in video games. Like I really, really hate it. And then like with Ronaldo, I actually don't know which one I like worse between fucking Whack DJ Man and Ronaldo, because Whack DJ Man is so clearly like garbage that I don't have to hear arguments for why he's good.
Yeah.
He's garbage. Like, okay, and we can end it there, and that's that. He's a piece of
Yeah.
shit, and that's the end of that. But Ronaldo is like, oh well, he has a really cool play style. It's the fucking Star Wars shit over again. It's like, bro, like I don't give a fuck how cool his play style is. For one, this is some shit that it's the same problem with every game that has guest characters where like they're not a fighting game character. Like, and they end up like giving them a moveset that will never be represented in another version of that game ever again. Like, okay, so he has all this cool sick shit with the ball and do all this crazy shit. Oh well, he's only going to be in this game ever.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fucking whack when they could have made a new character. Wouldn't that have been cool if they made a new original character that could do all the? Because I agree. Like, I think the way he fucking plays is fucking sick looking.
Check it out. Ooh.
Yeah, that's like sick, dude.
So
like
crazy.
Like that shit is tight. I'm not gonna lie, but it's like I don't like that there's a real dude in the fucking game and it's him. And it's like, oh, okay, well, he's the one doing it. It's like just make an original character, because then you can use that character for the next game or whatever, and then there's cool shit behind him. I don't want this fucking like guy in the game because he's a dude, and it makes everything else lamer, because these characters are like, when you think about them, they're like like these like fighting game characters are larger than normal people, right? You know what I mean? They're shooting fucking like chi blasts across the fucking screen, and they're doing like sacred techniques and shit, and then they're just now getting their ass beat by a soccer player. It's just whack. It makes everything like a fucking joke, and so I don't like it at all. I think it fucking, what do you call that shit? It's like ruins the fucking like, well, the shit I was just talking about earlier. I really don't like that shit at all.
Yeah.
So
it's like, I agree with you. This character should have just been a regular character, because he fits in the vein of the U.S. sports team.
Yes. Like you easily could have had a fucking character like him.
Yeah, they could have easily had like a sports team where there was like two other characters, or maybe, or whatever. But I would have liked to seen this character in like a KOF game as part of a sports team, because we haven't had a sports team in years. That's kind of, and I agree with you. It's kind of disappointing that we'll just see this character in this game, because he's sick, like really, really sick. But yeah, Josh, did you have any thoughts?
I still think the shit looks stupid. At first, it was funny, but I don't know anything about the sports team thing, so Ronaldo looks retarded to me because I know him as an actual person, and the DJ guy just makes it look even stupid.
Right.
This game looks stupid.
Yes.
I don't want to go into practice mode and fucking look at this shit. I don't want to be playing and then run into like one of these characters and then because I'm gonna be two different types of frustrated. Frustrated because I don't know what they're doing to me, and now I have to go look at it even more to learn how to fight it. Like, I just won't play it. It's dumb. It's so dumb. Like, every time I see the DJ fly across the screen swimming and shit, it's like, you expect me to go into practice mode and lab this shit? I'm good, dude. I'd rather play Grand Blue. It was like the dumbest looking character in Grand Blue, if there's such a thing. Like, it's way more interesting because, like,
It
the
doesn't
real
even
person
matter
aspect.
if they're like dumb looking or not. It's just like the injection of this real guy into the game. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what makes it so fucking whack. It's like, bro, like look at what the other characters are doing. They're doing explosions, throwing shurikens. They're like larger than normal people. But this guy's just a normal guy. He's just a normal guy. And I get that they're like giving him like special effects and shit, but essentially it's like, dude, you're breaking the in-universe shit. It's like if you put fucking Peter Griffin in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I was kind of into it at first because like this game reminds me of it gave me the feeling of Street Fighter 4, which was a good thing until this happened. So that's like, oh yeah, I'm good. I'll literally do anything else. Look at this guy, just fucking. Nothing about this looks like interesting. Like I said, it was funny at first, but now showing me this, it's like seeing people try to make the shit work at like a legitimate level. It's like you're insulting my intelligence.
Yes, exactly. It's insulting, and it's like I don't understand why nerd shit always has to be insulted all the time. I'm fed up with it, man. I just want to enjoy something for once. I hate how like normies always they totally don't like shit, but for some reason their shit always has to be represented in our shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking frustrating, dude. Like I'm trying to escape from this shit, and it's like, bro, this sucks, man. I hate it.
Yeah.
Is it me or does the aesthetic of this game just not hit the same way that Garo did?
It doesn't. It just doesn't. Like, I feel like most 2D, drawn sprites or whatever will always look cooler than 3D.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that 3D can match the 2D. I think the only game that's kind of like done that the closest is Guilty Gear.
Guilty Gear and Grand Blue. Yeah.
I think if you're gonna do 3D,
well, Grand Blue never really had like a sprite comparison, so I can't really compare it to that. Like,
oh yeah, I got you. Yeah,
True
I got you. But yeah, any more thoughts on this?
I personally feel like the budget that they spent on these two real life characters, they're paying for the names and the faces of these characters, which means that they're paying top fucking dollar for this. Where that budget could have went they could have still made a soccer character. They could have made a fucking wacky ass DJ character, but it didn't have to be real life characters. And that budget could have went towards actually, making the game run better. Giving it a good online, giving it good, lobbies to run sets and stuff like that. A tournament mode,
Give us a good practice, options and stuff like that. That budget could have been used to flesh out your game so much, and all it did was pay for two expensive ass celebrities. So that's really my only 2 cents for that, and the fact that the game still, to me, the last beta felt very stiff to me. I didn't really feel that interested in it after that.
Oh, yeah. I like I said before, I think I have to be really honest with myself about the game. It don't feel fun to play to me. It doesn't look as cool as a lot of other games. And even though this is graphically like an upgrade over KOF 15, it just
kind of.
15, yeah. It's
15
like
got his own art style too, though.
Yeah, well, this is like KOF 15,
with a bunch of particle effects, really
2.0 or something like that, So it's a graphical upgrade, but I feel like it's not by a lot to me. But
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe something will change my mind, but right now I'm just not feeling it. Not feeling it at all, man. But I know the Elena trainer just came out, and I haven't watched it, so I guess we will be watching it together because I've heard some bad things.
I mean, it's just like a teaser, so
it's
not like much.
All right, well, let's check it out, and let's see. I don't know what the volume is on this, but let's do it. All right. So my first initial reactions, it's like you said, it is a teaser trailer, but I don't really care for this character. I think that's what it is. I don't care for this character. I feel like there's a lot cooler characters in the game. I haven't liked this character since like Third Strike, and the only reason why I liked her in Third Strike is because her animations were just off the charts. Her animations in Third Strike were like off the charts. But I don't know. I don't really care for this character. What about you guys?
I think she looks fine. I'm kind of the same way. I don't dislike her, but I'm not like an Elena fan. Like, oh my god, Elena! Like, well, I mean, it's nice that Street Fighter 6 is going to have some capoeira representation, and that's about it.
Yeah, I'll say I don't like the outfit either, and I see what you guys were saying about the hair. Yeah. I don't like the hair either.
No, I liked her old little pixie hairdo that she had in Third Strike. Yeah. That was my picture of Elena when they were first announcing her.
Yeah. What about you, Cross?
I mean, I feel the same way y'all feel. I'm kind of like not like I'm not some like I love Elena. She's amazing. Blah blah blah. I never really was a giant. I don't hate her either, though. You know, it's nice to see her. Um, I think her costume looks really designed by committee, though. Looks kind of bland.
Yeah,
And yeah, her hair looks like a wig. But the classic costumes are in the game, so we'll see how
yeah,
that looks.
yeah. I wonder how if they're gonna be faithful to it. They
Yeah,
have
it's
to be.
like
It seemed like everybody else's costume is faithful. So
that's the thing. It's like with Capcom, it's like it's you could tell that they want to be faithful, and most of the time they are. But every once in a while, you know, it'll be something where it's like, what the fuck is that? Why'd you make it
yeah,
like that? You know, like, but yeah, it's probably gonna look like Elena. You know,
I mean,
so
I'm sure they're gonna give her third strike costume. I mean, she only
yeah,
has one iteration of herself, so I mean, they're gonna give her her vintage costume from third
y-
strike.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure
But we're
also
just
Street
talking
Fighter
about
4.
yeah,
yeah,
Move wise, I mean, I do see a lot of similarities to third strike. They did add a lot of new utility to her kit. I mean, I'll try her out. I'll definitely, you know, buy her with my little free coins. I don't have to pay no money for her. I got all them fucking fighter coins from, what was it, last year? I think it was, or the
yeah.
year before
Okay.
when they. Yeah, so I got a bunch of free coins. I can just try the character out for free.
Hey, that's
I
what's
guess
up.
fuck it,
I
I'll do
just
it.
I will say like just on the topic of Elena, this doesn't have anything really to do with the trailer necessarily because they didn't show any like gameplay or anything like that, you know.
Yeah,
But you know how like the meme of I guess this like goes into a bigger topic of just fighting games in general becoming more homogenized in terms of like balance and character originality and stuff, you know. But you know how like it's been a meme of like Elena where it's like, oh man, you know, healing, like oh my god, healing, it's so fucked
yeah,
up, like right,
yeah,
and it's like, well, if it were me and I was a developer, I would not take that out because it's clearly such a gigantic like portion of when people think of Elena, they
yeah,
think of that. So why would you remove it? You know, like people say, well, it's cheap. It's like, well, when does that ever stopped anybody from playing a fucking game? You know,
yeah,
like things that are cheap are fun. Like, you know, and as long as it's not absolutely game breaking, I feel like there's nothing wrong with something being like really good. um but I think that there's like I think they're gonna take it out though. Like I don't think she's gonna have it, or she's gonna have it as some type of like it's not really gonna be there, you know. And
Wait,
I
you talking
think
about the healing?
yes, like healing with Elena.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
because
drive rush or drive cancel or some shit.
well, I just feel like I kind of find that they like it's not even just Street Fighter, but like with fighting games in general, they being like anything that smells of hard or cheap, it's like they've been balancing, you know, and calling it other things, quality of life and all this other stuff that's vague, but they don't call it for what it is. Like for example, like Bison, he doesn't have charge inputs anymore. You know, all his stuff is like quarter circle back, quarter circle forward. It's like
yeah,
he's a charge character. You know, that's part of the gameplay identity of the character. But oh well, but what if other people who don't like charge characters want to play Bison, then play someone else? It's like saying, well, what if I want to play Bison, but he don't got titties? Okay, well, he just don't got titties. You just gotta live with the fact that he's a dude, man. It's like, you know, it's like we can't do that for everything. You know, some characters are what they are. And it's like I've been just seeing that across the board with like newer games where it's like, oh, okay, everybody has to have this. Everybody has to, we're gonna take these commands away because that's hard. You know, it's unfair that, he can do this thing, but this person can't do that thing, blah blah blah. Okay, even with like the health values in Street Fighter, where it's like pretty much everyone has the same health in Street Fighter 6. It's like the health values don't matter in Street Fighter no more. They used to really matter in Street Fighter, where it was like this guy really has low health, like he dies
yeah,
real fast, and this guy got a fuck ton of health. Yeah, you know. But I feel like in Street Fighter, it don't really matter like that, you know. And so I just kind of miss when they would design the character first, both how they look and mechanically, and then they would try to make them work in the game, and they would not erase what the character was to try and fit them to this overall balance.
Yeah.
And so but I know that like that's the trend right now. And everyone, quite frankly, I'm in the minority. It feels like, at least right now, everyone loves this era of like balance, where everything is balanced for the most part. Any hint of unbalancedness is kind of like not looked at well. Like, like, oh my God, like, why is this character really good? And this character is not so good, or
Yeah.
blah blah blah. It's like, it's and it kind of sucks. I don't like that personally, but
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Um. I agree. Okay. So I think that is all of the topics that we have. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Sonic the
Make
Fighter,
gaming,
greatest 3D fighting game ever.
make
So what's your
gaming niche again.
agreed. I agree with like the idea of making gaming niche. I think that if you're actually attracted to a game, it's like a pretty woman. You'll see a woman that you think is pretty that maybe no one else does. You'll look at her. Other people will walk past, but you'll spot her because it's directly catered towards your taste. There's no way you'd miss it, because when you walk past, all it has to do is cross your path and you'll
Yeah.
see it. But if someone has to come over you, hey, that girl's really into you, oh, come on, yeah, no, take a second look, it's like it's like, I feel like that's not good, because even if they're able to convince you, your natural instincts were telling you no, like to ignore it, and then now
My
you're spending
mind's
all
telling
your
me
time.
no.
Like, yeah, I just don't. I think that when things grow naturally and they're like they're niche. I get though where it's like when you're playing a niche game and you want it to be appreciated, and it feels like the growth is so slow, and you just were like, man. I was just talking to someone the other day where they were like, man, it would be nice if I would be able to, you know, uh, turn on VF5 and be able to find matches at 3 in the morning. And I was like, at what cost? And he was like,
Yeah.
"What do you mean, what cost? Like Street Fighter 6 can do that." And I was like, "Do you not think that Street Fighter paid a cost to get to that point? Like, not that Street Fighter 6 is just some
Yeah.
terrible game, but just think about it for a second. Like, think about what you're saying. What does it require VF to become to get that?
There's
Yeah.
always a sacrifice to it.
And like you're just thinking about what you want. You're not thinking about the cost." And I was like, maybe I'll just go to sleep at 3 in the morning and I will play people at a reasonable time
Yeah.
so that I can keep VF being VF.
Yeah.
Um, like I get it. It's cool that you can just turn on the game at any time with Street Fighter 6 and be able to find someone and play them. But to me, yeah, that's nice, but that's a mainstream concern.
Yeah.
And I'm not willing to trade that. And I feel like if it got there naturally, yeah, it will take way longer, but it'll be better for it because there'll be more people who actually give a fuck about the game. You
Yeah.
know?
And man, it's funny you say that. There's this song by Big Crit called "It's Better This Way."
Oh, I love Big Crit. That's
Yeah,
my
and he
dog
talks
right there.
about how he didn't gain fame like the quick and fast way. It was kind of natural. And you saying that kind of reminds me of that song. It's better this way
It is.
because your game will probably end up in a better state.
You know what? I'm gonna go jam
It
some Big Crit
will.
tonight. Appreciate
Yeah,
you, bro.
Big Crit is so awesome.
That's what happened to Tekken. Tekken actually gained its popularity and fans the slow and painful way. And it
Hmm.
succeeded for it too. Like that's why Tekken 7 was It was just at the right place at the right time with a strong community.
Yep.
It had a good game at the right place at the right time with a strong community because they had always been there through thick and thin. But you know, because the games were there for them through thick and thin. It wasn't the games weren't shit, and so they just stuck with it. How many games did it take? Tag one. Then Tekken 4 came out. They said, well, "Fuck it, we're gonna play Tag one. I ain't playing Tekken 4." And then
Yeah.
Tekken 5 came out. Tekken 5 DR. Okay, we bet like boom. That was a big boom in the community. Tekken 6. Tag 2. It's like it took all of this to get to Tekken 7.
Yep.
And then there was a void because Street Fighter 5 was, what it was, and Marvel versus Capcom was what it was. So there was a void where now it can be number one, you
Yeah.
know? But it didn't try, it just was being Tekken.
Yep. I agree.
And so like I wish people could see that reality for stuff. They're still locked into this idea that you have to do these particular things to grow big. Like you have
Yeah.
to appeal to the mainstream and then you'll grow big and
Well,
it'll be healthy. And it's like that's just not
yeah.
true. Like
we're in a microwave age where everybody wants everything fast and right now. They don't want to wait. They don't have patience. They want it to be big now. And like you said, there's a cost.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Kuroki, you have any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Shit, man. I don't know. There's everything that I had already been thinking of saying. Y'all have definitely been covering it in detail. So I'm in agreement with y'all on that. To be
So,
honest.
okay. So my final thoughts: Tekken 8 can't be saved. It can't be saved. It's already been pre-planned to be a certain way. So if you want Tekken 8 to be Tekken 7 or Tekken 6 or Tekken Tag 2, it's not gonna happen.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, exactly.
It's all over now.
Yeah, man. If you want that classic Tekken experience, you got to go out of your way and find that OG shit.
You have to go back. You have to go back to Tekken 7 or Tekken 6 or Tekken Tag 2.
It will never be the Tekken that you loved growing up.
Exactly.
It's a different game now.
Yeah, it's on a different level, a different philosophy, and no matter how much you want them to put defense in the game, the offense is already too high. It's already too high. So, defensively, it's not going to stack up to that. So, if you're thinking the game is going to change in a way that is more old school, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. We got M Trilogy. I didn't see you there.
Why don't we have good games?
now? Everything rushed. No passion put into productions. It's over with for Tekken. 100%. I agree with everything you just said.
You know what? I was just thinking too. Since we were on that topic earlier about like the casual experience, right? When it comes to casual experiences in fighting games, I'm thinking about like where the fuck is treasure battles and the survival and ghost battles and all that other stuff that was in previous Tekken games. If you notice, Tekken 8 is like bland on the home screen. It's just versus mode, practice, story. That's it, and all maybe like online. But there's no like secondary options for people who don't play online. But if I want to go grind out some treasure so I can get more gold for my characters, go and pimp out my character something other way. Like I gotta just play versus mode or something.
See,
I don't even know where you get that shit from.
I didn't know that.
Well,
I thought that was in the game.
The problem with that is that it's a game that is published by a giant corporation. And casual, like you're right, it is lacking in casual options. But those type of casual options that would be good for a game is bad for business in their eyes. And so, because of this, it's bad for business in two ways. It's bad for business because why would I give away content for free when I can make you pay for it? And two, why would a lot of this content, I have to make sure that it's not offensive, blah, 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 blah. The more content you make, the more content we have to review, the more content we have to spend money on just making sure that it's okay to put out for people to have. And
Funny.
so it's so much safer to just not do it. And then you're competing with modders, which back in the day you didn't have. And modders supply all of that to you. Like, of course, they don't supply you the gameplay, but they do supply you. Hey, I made you want Captain America costume in the game? I put that in the game. Here you go. Like, oh, you want fucking Nina and the G string? I made that. Here you go. Like, these will be things that in past games you would say, "There's a what costume for Nina, and what do I need to do?" Okay, I'm doing that. Like, let me go through this fucking scenario campaign mode with Nina so that I can get that, and it would be a nice little incentive to play the game, right? But it's like, not only are they not going to do that, they're not going to put that cost, so they don't have a strong enough incentive for you to even. They can't create strong enough incentives for you to even play these modes if they were to put these modes in. But why would they make you play and then get it for free when they can make you pay for it?
Yeah,
That makes so much sense because Tekken 7 already showed us that they were ready to do that because Tekken Bowling was a DLC and then the frame data shit was DLC.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that sucks.
So they were already showing us the writing on the wall since the previous game.
Right. So that's why you have to go to independent developers because they can afford to do that and they have an incentive to do it. Like, hey, I made this extra content and I want to put this other mode in the game. I'm going to put that content behind you playing this extra mode. Hey, play this extra mode, then you get to unlock, whatever, this character in the fucking G string. There you go. It's like,
Mortal
so
Kombat.
yeah.
Mortal Kombat 9 did with the 300 towers, and you get that like bandage Melina.
Yeah, like all of the older the older Mortal Kombat's did when what's that game called? I can't think of it right now. When Jesus Christ, my brain fucking sucks. The first 3D one, dude. Like
is it MK4?
Oh, Deadly
no, not
Alliance?
MK4. Sorry, Deadly Alliance. I'm thinking of Deadly Alliance.
Okay.
You're right. Actually, that is the first 3D.
Then
But
it
I
was
wasn't thinking
Deception
of it.
after that, but yeah, Deadly Alliance is the first one.
Yeah, but when they added Crypt mode,
the Crypt was so dope.
The Crypt is like I do not like Mortal Kombat, but the Crypt is one of the best, like, fighting game, just mode unlockable things ever.
And it had atmosphere,
made.
bro. Even just being in the crypt, like it was a whole atmosphere that you were in, and you indulged yourself in that.
With Scorpion, dude.
It's almost
like cooking with Scorpion. That's my shit.
Yeah, it's like you didn't know what was in those chests. And it's like, man, what are they gonna put and throw at me next? It's like, I want to see what's in here.
They would put jump scares at you, dude.
I remember that shit.
Just fuck with you, like. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way when people are wanting these big developers to do shit like that. I'm like, why are you going to a hungry wolf and then asking them to be your pet? You're like, hey man, be my pet, man. Like, it's like, what the fuck? He's a hungry wolf. He's gonna tear your throat out. Like, he has no reason to listen to you. So it's like it's like the old days no more, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, that's all I have for today. Man, I really appreciate you guys for coming through and sharing your insights. Any plugs before we get out of here?
Yeah, you can find me on the Immortal Afro on YouTube, Twitch. I'm getting kind of sleepy. I'll go to bed after this. And Twitter, Eternal Afro Josh, and all that stuff. I'm going to start doing my streams probably next week. I had a few more things to take care of financially that involved me working extra hours, so I haven't had the time. But next week is looking pretty good for streams like this. and all that good stuff. So look forward to that.
I am looking forward to it. Kuroki, any plugs?
Yeah, YouTube and Twitch at Kuroki Samurai, and you can find me on BitChute as well at Kuroki Samurai. Which my boy Josh here, he know all about BitChute. We talking about it way back in the day, so I still still repping it with them couple thousand views that I got across my videos. Might try to revamp that over there on that side. So
Good idea.
Cross, any shout outs? Any plugs?
Yeah, you can find me at Immortal Afro Josh.
yeah,
I be streaming.
damn, there's two of them. Oh man.
You can find me on the internet.
You can find me on the internet.
I be on there surfing.
Well, that's all we have for today. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. You can find me, of course, at H3 The Game, on Twitch at H3 The Game. I need to start streaming more. I think it's coming. So just be looking out.
Till then, subscribe to my my Twitch, because what I'm saying, I'm always streaming all week.
Oh yeah, always make sure to tune in to Kuroki's stream. He definitely does. He's doing the thing. But all right, guys, y'all be easy. We'll see you later.
All right,
Peace.
Peace out.